Welcome, everybody, to the CrossFire podcast. The crap is right on time, and we're late as usual. Everybody, listen, it's Friday night. I just want to let everybody know you're going to see a great show tonight. You're going to hear a great show tonight, pardon me. A lot of people are going to be coming in and out of the show. I've got a lot of people that are doing other things. There's a couple of high-profile guys on tonight. You'll see we have one in the room right now, and the great Jez Gordon from Windows Central is here. And then we also have our buddy Scratch coming in later on tonight if he's able to get out of his he's doing some sort of a stream that he does on Friday nights. It's funny. I picked Friday nights because I thought Fridays for gamers would be perfect. Gamers don't really go clubbing, so I thought that was one check mark there. And I figured, well, Friday gaming doesn't start till late night anyway, so 7 o'clock is perfect to get everyone's attention. Anyways, I was a little off. Nonetheless, we'll go down our list of usual suspects we got here, and then we'll welcome everybody as they come in a little bit later. I'll start with the one, the only, the infamous Crap Gamer, buddy. How are you tonight? And welcome to Crossfire.
Hey, what's up? Happy to be here. It's always great to do Crossfire, and I'm pumped up, ready to go. There's a lot of stuff to talk about.
You are pumped up, buddy.
Yeah, I'm pumped up. I'm ready to go. In fact, like, even though today was supposed to be dedicated to Mario Odyssey and watching Stranger Things, I actually in the middle of that. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna rant a little bit because I already have my other videos up and ready to go.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely going to talk about it because your video was spot. I think your video was spot on, and it's worth a discussion. A lot of people always give us this, and we're going to talk about this as we progress through the show tonight. But I mean, we are here to talk on podcasting, and podcasting for gaming has turned into the same thing as CNN and Fox News or even E! Entertainment and TMZ. Yeah. Listen, these channels are on.
We're a lot more real than CNN.
I would agree with you there. But I mean, my point being is that I think that the truth of the matter is we're talking all week long. So when someone's like, Mooch, why would you bring something up like that? I'm like, it's a topic on the table, and why can't we talk about it? Yeah, why can't we talk about it?
Yes, I mean, that's what we do on podcasts.
This would be a very boring show if Jez came on just to mem tonight. You know what I mean? Just kind of.
If we talk bad enough about Xbox, we might get surprised with our own Xbox One X's, huh?
Absolutely. Come on. Listen, push the envelope.
If Microsoft, you guys suck. Oh, push a button. You guys should be able to do that. What are you talking about, Microsoft? Trying to take
I'm going to smash my Kinect.
It's spying on me when I'm in my underwear. Who wants that, Microsoft? God, they're so evil. Man, I can't wait till they go out of business.
Guys, guys are already into the first subject line. Let me go to my next guy, my Italian paisan. You can tell he's in a good mood. He's already eating his pizza, folks. Clowns, welcome to the show tonight, brother.
Hey, what's going on? It's always a pleasure being here. And Jez, don't get mad.
It's the clowns.
Yeah, it's the clowns. I'm smashing my Kinect over here, hoping Microsoft notices. Going to get 3 trillion views, and then I'll be famous. So,
yes.
Come on, Microsoft.
Awesome, clowns. Awesome. Our next guy, Senor Boombastic, a.k.a. Boom on Crossfire. Boom, how are you tonight? You've been pretty vocal the past couple days.
Yeah, I'm super happy to be here. Like crap, I'm like real amped to talk about the shenanigans that's going on in the gaming world.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, they're definitely happening at a rapid rate. And I already gave him a formal introduction when we first started. Good friend of mine, Jez Gordon. Jez, welcome to the show tonight, buddy. I can't tell you how great it is to have you and your expertise here tonight.
Thank you very much.
That's great, Jez. Jez, the whole audience is hoping you're about 3 glasses of bourbon in. They want the truth serum.
Brett came in too. Woo.
Oh yeah, no, I got Brad. Usually, I would like to play national anthem for Pred when he comes in, but
yes.
I don't know if we're allowed to do that technically.
All rise. Like some people, I will stand for the
all rise. Yes, all rise for Predator. Pred, welcome to the show, bro. Thank you for coming in, and I know Pred does everything. He doesn't just help the country out; he's also helping his family out. He's doing daddy daycare. It still has time for a podcast. Pred, thanks for coming tonight. How are you tonight?
Good, man. I'm making a round table, man. I was on, everything this week. Shop. I'm on next tomorrow on your podcast tonight. I was on. God, I can't remember what the fuck I did last night, man. So many podcasts this week.
The Shop podcast air now.
We're back on Thursdays.
Oh, okay. I was like,
yes.
I heard it was back, right? And I was looking for it, and it wasn't on Saturdays. So I was like,
Yeah, I did the Shop and did the Quest last night, and then with you guys today, and then next podcast.
I'll tell you the truth, Pred. The reason you're kind of a hot commodity is between Twitter, between in the chat, and then when you are doing your spot checks on different shows. I mean, your opinions are, everyone's opinions are their own, but I mean, yours kind of hit home. And I think that a lot of people agree with you. And myself personally, I like having you on the show because, I mean, you think the way I think. The same thing that I'm thinking a lot of times when you're tweeting out, I retweet you because I'm like, this guy's spot on. So
You know,
Brett,
he
I
also
like having
helps
you
us
on.
out. He gives us links to stuff all the time when we're
He
doing
is.
podcasts when he's
Yes.
watching, which is
Yes.
Very
cool.
useful source
He's
for
tweeted at me
podcasts.
several times with links. It was
Yeah.
very informative.
Well, listen,
Yep.
I like to start the show slow before everybody gets here. Let the audience kind of trickle in. Everybody's making a drink. It's Friday night. Some people are still waiting for the pizzas to arrive. Listen, let's talk about this. It's my favorite time of year, and it's the last time I can bring it up on Crossfire for another almost 365 days. Halloween is amongst us here. And, Jez, I'm going to start with you because I have a question that I did ask Alan Walsh, who was joining us a few weeks ago. I'm going to ask you the same thing. What's the atmosphere like in the UK? I mean, is Halloween a thing over there, or do you guys not really care so much? Because we're really into it over here, adult and kids.
Interesting point, Jez.
Jez, you elaborate on that later.
Brilliant point, Jez. Nice.
It's probably right now 2 cubes of ice and 6 bourbons. No, but I want to get into this. I want to talk about The Evil Within is what I want to do because I think Jez did a review on it as well. So I know Boom's been very vocal about it. We had a good guy on Twitter he did a poll. He asked everybody. He says, listen, his name's Wagerman, great guy, does a lot for the community. Says, what should I grab? And I said, grab The Evil Within 2. I said, it's really a great game. I know we've touched on it here and there, but now I'm up about halfway through the game and I'm loving it. I mean, this is a great game. It's got Halloween written all over it. It's got jump scares. It's a little bit Resident Evil. It's a little bit
around.
I'm definitely coming around.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Jez. Jez had to leave. Probably had to leave because connection issue. Jez, are you back?
Kind of. I am currently tethering to my phone, which has a terrible connection as it is. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Well, let me get as many questions to you as possible while I have you on. Jez, we were asking, what's Halloween like in the UK? Is it a thing?
No, it's pretty dead.
Not a thing at all.
I tell you what Halloween's like in the UK is students have Halloween parties so they can wear very little clothing and go do loads of drugs and get drunk.
So it is like here.
But there's no little kids trick-or-treating because it's too dangerous. They'll get kidnapped by whatever. And so you don't get kids trick-or-treating anymore. You did when I was a kid. But now it's too dangerous, so I haven't seen a trick-or-treater for years.
Well, I mean, that was
people put pumpkins out. That's about it.
They do pumpkins. I tell you, the kids, listen, the way it's really kind of gone down and kind of rattled out over the years here in the States is from about, I would say, and guys, correct me where I'm wrong on the panel, probably between 4 and 7. It seems like there's a lot of the kids that do the trick-or-treating, but then the parties go on for the adults, and the parties are generally the weekend before. So tonight and tomorrow night, or a lot of Halloween parties that I know of. And that's a lot of stuff that goes on. People get I wouldn't say people get decked out. You can go to some parties where they get decked out. I think a lot of it is like you said, people just kind of wear, the girls wear as little as possible. The guys wear minimal attempt of even getting dressed up. They wear a suit. And they staple they staple paperwork to it. They're like, I'm a lawsuit. And it's all right, great. Nice work. But they go there, they kind of just go to drink and this and that. But my entrance to all this, Jez, is you've been a huge proponent of The Evil Within 2. And I don't know if you reviewed it or if I've just been listening to your tweets. You're just all on top of this game. I am as well. Boom is. What's the pitch you have to somebody who says, listen, it's Halloween weekend in the States. What am I going to do? What kind of game? I saw me and you were kind of talking Wagerman into it and he did it. What do you think, Jess? What's your take on this game? And I think it's a huge improvement over the first.
Well, I really liked the first Evil Within, even though it's
the pacing, right, was a little slow.
Yeah, it's quite slow and it's really clunky and awkward and quite difficult. Even on normal, it's I completed it on normal the other day. It's a rare achievement.
Yeah, you said that. You were like, I beat this on normal and I got a rare achievement, ? And I was like, it encouraged me to hurry up and beat it so I can get the jewel.
Yeah,
I was I want that.
What? Only 4% of players completed this game on normal? I can't believe that. So it was a brutally hard game. And but I enjoyed it, even though it made me really angry at times. But
I actually liked it as well, and I'm going to agree with you. It is harder than people think.
Yeah, it's not Dark Souls hard, but it's old school Resident Evil 1 hard. It's like old school Resident Evil hard. And so I really enjoyed the first one. I love the artwork. I draw a bit myself, not very well, but I really appreciate the creativity in that game and stuff. And I actually played. I did a preview of the Evil Within 2 at Gamescom, and it wasn't really on my radar. But when I played it, I was like, yeah, this feels more like almost Silent Hillish now because it's got a big open town you can explore in.
Yes.
There's loads of stuff you can, find and get upgrades, secrets, and all that sort of stuff.
The game, though, Jez, does go from this big open world to a little bit more linear, does it not?
Yeah, it sort of blends the two. So it gives you because the first Evil Within kind of had these open areas, but it sort of pushed those open areas even further now. And then it sort of has these enclosed sort of linear experiences that connect to a more open area. So it's still a linear game. It's not like an open world. It's not like Assassin's Creed Evil Within.
Agreed. And whenever I see a left or a right option, you know that one, when you make the choice, is just going to be to up your materials, whether it be what is it there? Working parts, or you're going to have some kind of gunpowder, something like that. And the other way is actually the course that you're taking. It is linear, but you know what? I don't know. Something about, maybe it's because I'm getting older. I don't know. I kind of like these linear games. It's why I do like games like Uncharted. I like games that you kind of go through, and the game kind of dictates itself. You have to have a certain skill set to get through it. But once you've mastered that skill set, you can enjoy the story, collect your collectibles, and be on your way. I like that. Some of these games, and I pick on GTA 5, great game, by the way. Great game. And I think it was on sale this past week on Deals with Gold. But here, the sale was still $29. I'm like, it's been $29 for 8 months. Can this thing get down to $10 just for God's sake? Once Mooch is asking. But you hear
that, people? Mooch him. Now the game thing's a thing. He's mooching.
I'm trying to mooch a price lower.
If you want to know his gamer tag, it's just Mooch, people.
Yeah, right. Mooch, I like when people ask me, "What's your gamer tag?" I go, "Just take a stab in the dark." But my whole thing is this. I like that game very much, GTA 5, but the problem I have with it is you kind of get lost in it. There's so much to do in that huge sandbox. There's so much going on. You're just driving to a mission, and then you stop, you buy a building, you pick up some clothes, all of a sudden someone's screaming on the side, you're doing a side mission. I played 3-4 hours. I haven't even touched the main mission yet. I got a problem with that. I like a game like this where, when you put 2, 3, 4 hours into it, you're making steady progress. And let me tell you something. You just can't hit the jump scares like these people have. Now, Jez, is this the same makers that did make one of the original Resident Evil? Is he still involved?
I think Shinji Mikami was involved in some capacity.
Okay.
Because they sent him... I saw he tweeted an Evil Within 2... Well, it's called Psycho Break in Japan. So he tweeted a Psycho Break 2 cake. They had the Celebrate finish in the game. So he must have worked on it in some capacity. But I think the creative director was different. He might have just been a producer or something instead.
Okay.
It was produced by John Johannes. I actually interviewed on Windows Central the other week, which was really cool. But it's still plays like the Evil Within. It's still quite, it's not easy. You still have to be careful. You still have to use stealth.
It's the limited resources too, Jez.
Yeah, it's limited resources too. And the reason I've been recommending it, and I actually haven't gotten around to playing it too much yet because I've been playing Wolfenstein 2, but
jealous. Jealous.
Yeah. It actually gave me nightmares. The Evil Within 2 actually gave me a nightmare.
It does, doesn't it? I have
never done.
It's creepy as shit.
There's a scene at the start of the game where this dude gets his face smashed in on a table.
Yes.
And I woke up in the middle of the night and I was at Gamescom with my colleague, Matt Brown, and I thought his face had been smashed in.
Oh, no.
I turned over and I was like I saw his face. But no.
It does have that effect to it. And that's what I'm saying. Actually, that's a great side story to it. But I do agree with you. There's something about this game and there's something freaky about it. I mean, even that one creature that's a screamer, right? And we're going to get to other topics, guys. I'm just letting the audience kind of shuffle in. But the screamer there that has legs and arms growing off of its back, that's early on in the game.
Yes, the one that's kind of just creeping around.
Yeah, yep. That game, that whoever, I just sat there because you have to wait for him when you're early on and you're not strong enough. You have to wait for him to walk around you, and you're waiting for him. You're looking at this, and I'm like, who the hell came up with this thing?
Yeah,
I mean, this is a demented soul. You know what I mean?
After I finished the Evil Within, because I had it halfway for ages, and it was in my backlog. And after I went and finished it, I went on Amazon and bought the art book for Kindle because I wanted to get a better look at the monsters. But I didn't realize that it actually gives you a model viewer when you've completed the game.
Really?
So that was, yeah, it does. But
I haven't
the
beaten it yet.
models, you can see them really up close, and they're so crazy. Like Silent Hill, I haven't seen that kind of horror creativity since Silent Hill. So I just love it for the creativity more than anything.
That's what it is. That's what it really is. And, let's get into that because I want to kind of turn focus a little bit here. This is a huge day, folks, okay? I don't care what platform you like. It's a big day. Mario Odyssey comes out at midnight, Assassin's Creed Origins, and, of course, we had Wolfenstein 2, for you that are, pronouncing it correctly.
For you to pronounce
I'll
it
be right
right.
back.
It's up yours, crap. But yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Wolfenstein 2 is the one that I can't wait to get into. That's the game. And Jez, you've seen a lot of people talking polls and podcasts are talking about it. A lot of us here, okay, we've all been waiting for the X for the most part. You, and I hope I can say this, if not, just say, tippy toe or something and I'll stop. But I think that you have the X. And I mean, this is fantastic, right? I mean, how beautiful is this thing? Does it have the X enhancements that you're playing?
I actually don't have it yet.
Oh, damn. That sucks.
Because I'm
You didn't badmouth Microsoft enough, Jez. Come on.
Yeah, come on. I'm just taking a shot in the dark. I don't know. You never know.
Trolley, Jez. Come on.
I'm hoping somebody I interview one time will have the X. But no, I mean, like, are you hearing anything in the industry? Are the enhancements out yet for people that are getting the X?
Well, the only enhancements that I think are live right now are Gears of War and World of Tanks.
Okay.
So there's not a great deal, but there are, like, World of Tanks went live like yesterday or something. So there is, like, they are rolling out, I think. I don't know which ones are supposed to be there for launch. I know Super Lucky Tales one. I think Assassin's Creed is one, but it's not in there just yet. But it does seem like it's going to be a bit of a slow rollout. Hopefully there'll be more for launch because if people get the X on day one and there's only like 5 to 10 games that are enhanced out of the 150 they've been boasting about for like the last however long, that's kind of problematic.
Right.
But
So
Can't wait for these YouTubers to.
I was just going to say all these
shit.
Exactly.
when-
All these people have I was just going to say all these people are opening up their Xbox One X's and they're not going to see the Xbox One X true power for X amount of time now. I mean, 2 weeks or a week and a half.
I don't know. I don't know what the timing is on the enhancements going live. I mean, you can see if you go to. I don't think I'm under embargo for this because you can't just go onto your Xbox now and then filter it by Xbox One X enhanced. And the Gears of War has the enhancements, so it gets.
If you do left bumper, right bumper, and I forget what they're called now, start and select at the same time, and then let go, it'll tell over the game. It'll tell you if you got the assets or not.
Yeah. But yeah, there isn't a lot that are in that filter right now. I don't know, but like I said, I don't have my X yet. It's in Germany, and I'm still in the UK. So I had it shipped to Germany because I'm moving back there on Sunday.
Are you really? Now, how long, Jez?
I'll probably be there until E3, I think.
Oh, Lord. Well, everybody, get your fill of Jez. Because this will be it's really I've been trying to book Jez for a long time, and when he's in Germany the clocks just don't work out very well because I think when you're in Germany, right, it slides another 2 hours in the opposite direction, so it makes it harder, right, Jez?
Yeah, and I share a room with my girlfriend as well, so it's like
it's difficult.
She gets mad, if I'm screaming into a microphone when she's trying to sleep. It's not.
Yeah, Jez writes on Twitter, I'm going back to the UK, and I'm like chanting and rearing him on, and like I'm his nephew or his cousin. I'm like, thank God Jez is back in the UK. No, but listen, the thing about it is this: where are you guys on the panel, Pred? I haven't got a chance to talk to you in a bit. Pred, where are you with these new game releases? Are you going to wait for the X, or you're saying F it? I'm going in head first. I got to play AC Origins or whatever it is.
As slow as I play games, I went ahead and started now. I got Assassin's Creed from I can't pronounce this guy's name right. Wiggerman today.
Oh, that's right, you won. That's right.
Yeah, I won the contest. And
congratulations and damn you. Yes.
Yeah, it's the first time I ever won anything. So, so I'll use the assets I was going to use to get this game for something else. But I started it today. I'm not waiting for the X. I haven't.
How does it look, Fred?
It looks great, man. On the S, it looks fantastic. I mean, so it's going to look 10 times better when I pick it up on the X.
Are you having any issues? Was there a day one update? Did you notice if there was an update when you put it in?
I don't think there was. I had it pre-ordered anyway. And then I actually, when I won the game, I canceled it or should I say, refunded it and then used
Right.
the code he gave me. So I'm going to use that money to probably buy Wolfenstein.
Steen feels better. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
it doesn't.
I'll say both.
No, it
I
doesn't.
can work for both sides of the crowd here. So, but I didn't see any. I don't remember there being an update for it when I loaded it up. I got it on this
the
morning.
only reason I asked that to you originally was I was talking to a good friend of mine that has a YouTube channel, and he says he's been playing it for a while, and he said that it was a little stuttery, had a few glitches, a few problems here and there. Ultimately, he's loving his experience. He said, "Don't let any of these things that I'm telling you, because I'm just telling you because you're asking me." But he's like, I'm telling you right now, AC Origins is a great game. That is a game that I'm really looking forward to dive into. But I think if I have to make a call, guys on the panel, chime in. I think I'm jumping in with Wolfenstein 2 first, just because, sometimes, Pred, I got to agree with you with what you said. I don't have a lot of time. And when I do play, I'm going to play what I enjoy. And even though if AC Origins is your thing, by the way, by all means, folks, but Wolfenstein is a little bit more my cup of tea. And I think Jez, when he did his Doom review way back I was reading his review, and it was just a refreshing thing to read because, and you said it earlier, we were talking about Mario Odyssey, and Jez goes, are there any guns in there? And I thought he was asking me legitimately if Mario had a new accessory. I go, no, I don't think so. He goes, well, then fuck it. No, he's only kidding. But I mean, like,
No, he's not.
no, he's not. I just think that, like, Wolfenstein 2, it really hits home. And there's some graphic things, right, Jez, in Wolf 2 that are just so over the top, but done so well.
The lasers in it, the lighting and the lasers are just crazy in that game. It's nuts. When you shoot in the laser Gewehr, it's called, and it's just melting all the metal and the sparks flying everywhere. It's like Killer Instinct, like the particle effects. They've done a really good job with that.
This is fantastic. And what's great about hearing this is if this is how good these games are playing and looking, folks,
Now,
this is going to be so much better in a week, right?
Yep.
Come on. I mean,
well, that's the thing. I'm going to wait. I'm holding off on everything.
That's got to be hard for you, bro. I know
what?
you. That's tough.
The thing is this. I am just about to finish. I'm just about to beat Evil Within for the second time. I'm just about to beat South Park, which was... My
amazing
goodness, it is absolutely fantastic.
Beautiful game.
Yeah.
And I have Mario, so it's not like
Mario.
I'm hurting.
Mario.
Everybody's pronouncing shit weird tonight. Mario.
Yeah, I said, what did I say? Mario? Yeah, it's Mario.
God.
You know something, though? Every time he says Wolfenstein, I should say Mario.
I know, but it hurts. Suck for those of us that pronounce both right. You know what I mean?
You bastard crap. It is Mario, and I don't know what it is. I said, and let me ask Jez. Of course, it's Wolfenstein. I get that. But I mean, you've lived in Germany for a while now. What if I walked up to someone and I said, excuse me, I'll take a copy of Wolfenstein? Would they get upset or correct me?
They won't say anything because I think it's banned in Germany.
Ah, interesting. That's not the answer I was looking for, but I'll take it.
It's not banned; it's censored.
Right.
There's no Nazis in Wolfenstein.
So it's Call of Duty, by the way.
It's just called. They're not called Nazis in Wolfenstein in Germany. They're called the Order or something.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what happened in Germany between 1930ish and 1940ish? Nothing. What are you talking about? What?
Nothing much. Why?
Nothing? No.
Yeah,
What?
It's
Nothing.
censored.
Yeah.
They've got
It's censored. It's interesting.
My girlfriend hates that stuff because she thinks it's like patronizing. It is patronizing,
A bit.
Years ago.
A bit. It is. I mean, it's funny how, it's fun. Isn't it funny? That's kind of a great subject that I didn't even have written down. But that's something that we could really get into that. Like how,
but you know what? I don't know if it would work out.
Well, no, I'm going to, I'm literally going to hit the frosting on the cake. Take it easy, crap. We're not going to get into that double stuffing in there. All I'm saying is this, like, it is funny how certain game companies like Bethesda can get away with things like that. And like other companies would never be able to get away with that. There's just darlings, right? There's darlings, and it kind of leads into what we were talking about before. There's darlings in the industry that get these passes.
I don't know if Bethesda gets a pass. I mean, there
was hate over that Wolfenstein commercial.
People were pissed when they announced the paid DLC stuff. Like Skyrim got review bombed on Steam. If the paid mods thing, people hated Bethesda for that.
That's true. That is true. They didn't get away with it. Well, yeah. Whenever you're actually talking about taking hard, cold cash out of someone's pocket, your
they also got hate.
Your mulligan gets removed.
They got hate for the review code thing too. Like he said, like even like the big sites were like, we can't believe this.
They've stopped doing that now. They've stopped doing that after Prey bombed and other games.
I could have picked up Prey for $9.99 the other day, and I still didn't.
And Jez, I know that's
my game of the year.
You're saying it's your game of the year. I did enjoy it. You know, it's funny. I got to I'm almost at the end, and I stopped playing it. Yeah,
he swears up and down that he's gonna beat.
I will.
Before the 7th.
Halloween, buddy. Halloween. No. I'm gonna beat it before the 7th. I still have the 7th in writing, but gotcha. I'm saying to you that I'm gonna be playing the crap out of it tonight and the rest of the weekend.
But you got Mario Odyssey and woohoo!
I do, but I don't have a deadline like I do with you. Crap, you're holding me to this November 6th date. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It kind of brings us into one of our main topics. I think we got a lot of people in the audience now. I want to thank everybody. We had 108 likes, but we can get that way higher, guys. We got over 300 people in here. Guys, listen, a lot of Xbox One X's went out today to a lot of YouTubers. And listen, it's a topic of discussion. I just can't understand. I still can't fathom a lot of folks on Twitter. They're like, how dare you bring these subjects up? Well, listen, guys, we're talking 2 hours every other day. It's like when you watch ESPN. If you go back and watch ESPN back in the 80s, it was literally just like for baseball season, it was just the home runs. And now the home runs by Chris Berman. And Chris Berman would just wheel off the home runs, and you'd watch like 75% of commercials. But now ESPN's on 24/7, and they have like 16 channels. So sometimes when you watch ESPN, you're not watching every single home run. You're watching a little bit more. Even the Ocho's out now. That's correct. So a lot of us.
Hold on, Mooch. I gotta light my Unity candle.
Yes, please.
Oh, no.
Yeah, somebody.
Right now. Yep,
Someone get a fire.
I'm ready.
And if somebody could please play Kumbaya on their harmonica, now cue. But guys, listen. Realistically, we just want to bring subjects up and talk about them. And crap, you did a video today. Can you talk a little bit about your video and honestly where it stems from?
Okay, basically what I saw was, and I knew that this was going to happen, right? Like I knew it's smart in some ways for Microsoft to do this, right? Send them to the outlets that review games. That way they can review the games on the X, right?
Makes sense.
I get that point. Even though a place like GameStop, the guy poked fun at Major Nelson and didn't even look like he wanted to be there. The girl was kind of like trying to be professional, but the guy that was doing it was just like a total ass bucket and completely unprofessional. Right. But again, it's GameSpot. What do you expect? Multiple other places, like I get it, like the main places, but then someplace like I don't see why The Verge would get one, especially Tom Warren, who basically said Microsoft wanted to pack it in and walk away from Xbox if it was priced $4.99 and basically shit on it. Jeff Keighley, a guy that leaked the price.
Yeah, sabotage the E3.
Sabotage it. Not only did he do that,
my Lord.
Exactly.
I just want to add something.
I know everybody wants to jump in on that.
Yeah, well, a guy for Sub-Zero just sent me a link. Destin Legary holding the Xbox One X with a big cheese smile, and this is what his tweet is. It's going to be a good day, y'all. Wasn't this guy?
You know what? At least he started switching over to
around.
He kind of started to come around out of all the people on IGN. So I have like no problem with that. And again, that's like a big outlet. You want people to review the games on the X. So I get that. Now where it gets a little bit fuzzy. Okay, IGN, they get them. All the outlets get them. Tom Warren, like The Verge, I don't get that because they're not really reviewing games to begin with, and the guy basically trashed Xbox and went to PC and makes fun of Xbox fans. So I don't really get that. Jeff Keighley kind of screwed over Xbox. Had a lot of people not even willing to wait to see what the thing could do because he announced the price before E3. So everybody was all pissed off going into E3. And before people go, oh, that was controlled league, Microsoft wanted them to. No, because I know for a fact, and I've heard it from somebody at Microsoft, that they were pissed off about that. So the fact that he's still got one. Boogie, I knew Boogie would get him. What's he got? Millions of subscribers or something? Of course he was going to get one. It is. Like these people, like I get that. But then you see like some of the other ones, they don't really have like a ton of subscribers, and most of them don't even like Xbox. They built their brands on hating Xbox, right? So I didn't understand that. That didn't make any sense to me, right?
Well, crap. Let me play devil's advocate, even though I'm on your side. Here's the thing about it. We talked about this with the whole thing. Mike Ybarra has been coming out and tweeting out for months now that you're going to be able to record and do any kind of streaming in 4K and blah blah
These
blah.
people are going to do that though. I know.
That's fine.
It looks,
that's fine, but that's what they're going for, right?
Yeah, I know, and it looks like that. I mean, clearly, because look at the games they sent them: Destiny 2, Call of Duty. So that there's no question about it, right? They would have these games that are enhanced, and they could play them up. But these people are like ingrained with that PlayStation because look, just look at this, right? All these people got the original Xbox One. Did anything change? No. These people all got the Xbox One S. Did anything change? No. They got the Xbox One X. They're gonna, hey, yay, toe that line. It's great. You know what I mean? Even that guy that was interacting with Boogie the other day was like, yeah, everybody hates Microsoft, so they're trying to get on as many good people's side as they can. Why would people hate Microsoft right now? What have they done to deserve any hate in the last 3.5 years? Do nothing but be better than Nintendo and Sony put together.
Yeah,
so,
what do people always say? You fess up, you own up to your mistakes, right? Crap. So they fessed up to their mistakes. They did the 180. They even take the jokes. They don't fight anybody. They promote other people's brands.
Yep,
They've completely righted the ship. They've got a thing out right now where any single type of request you have goes right to corporate, right? Mike sees all of these things right in front of his desk. Every morning he gets a new report printout that shows what the customer wants. They work on doing that. Are they perfect? No. Who is? Nobody. And like the point of the matter is that they're still getting hate from these YouTubers. And that's what I'm saying. The YouTubers that are these big guys that are out there and they don't like it. Like, I'm like, why not send it out? Because, you know, and Jez, I don't know if Jez is here right now, but because he's got on mute. But Jez, to be honest with you, he had said something earlier about like trying to reach that audience, right, Jez? That's the point. The point is to try to influential YouTubers. And a lot of these guys, crap, I'll be honest with you. And Jez, I want to ask you guys both a question here. Just because you have 16,000 subs, I don't think that's a big deal versus having 800 million subs if you're still hitting a better market.
You know what? I can use myself as an example here. Right?
Okay.
Once upon a time, I used to run a website called Xbox Mad. We used to get about 100 hits a day, 200 hits a day.
Yes.
I used to blog about Windows Phone. Nobody cared about it. But I loved it. Right? I used to blog about Xbox. Everyone was pissed off about it, but I loved it. Mm-hmm. And one day, Stephen Elop, who used to run Microsoft's phone division, sent me a Lumia 920. Right, I was really poor, I was in debt, and he sent me a free phone, and that influenced me to. I felt gratitude to that company as a result.
Absolutely.
Of that. And he didn't have to do that. I was nobody, man. I was nobody, and he sent me that phone. And then I started, but I already liked Windows Phone because it had Xbox achievements, and I started blogging more about it, and it turned me into a little bit of a fanboy about Windows. Well, it turned me into a total fanboy of Windows Phone. And you know, Xbox Mad grew, and then we're at 1,000 hits a day, which is still pathetic compared to the likes of The Verge and stuff, and who get 1 million hits a day, you know, and Nokia paid for me to go to the unveiling of the Lumia 640 phone in Spain. They paid for my flights, they paid for my hotels, and I was nobody. But they must have seen something in me, because right after that event, Daniel Rubino sent me an email offering me a job to work for Windows Central. And now I've got a platform, and now I'm influencing other people to enjoy their Xbox, you know. So for them, it's about creating a knock-on effect, you know. And the people that you might be thinking today are these like losers, or they've got small channels, or why are they trying to reach out to these people? It's because they want to try and create goodwill and gratitude and stuff. And you can say like, this is a complete waste of time. And maybe it is a complete waste of time, but they could either do this, or they could just do nothing and just let it die and give up.
Right, and I agree. That's crap. Believe it or not, even though you did your video, and I understand where you're coming from, we said that. What Jez said, we said they're going to have to do this. They have.
I don't mind. Like I said, I don't mind some of them. But what is the goodwill with the people that are still going to hate on the Xbox afterwards? You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing.
If they're sending Xbox One X's to enthusiastic small time YouTubers, like a super hardcore Gears fan or a super hardcore Forza fan, maybe they've got 10,000 subs, or 20,000 or 30,000 or whatever. If they're sending them to these small time people, and they're not sending it to these these big, so-called big journalists who've got egos and stuff, how do you think the big journalists are going to react when they don't get the free stuff and the little guys do?
So you got to bribe the big guys.
Well, the big guys are getting them too, though. I mean,
yeah, exactly. But if they didn't get them, they'd be pissed, and they'd say
it's
It'd be worse than what it is now.
That's right.
It's like a bribe.
Yeah,
the Italian thing is, it's a bribe. That's the Italian word for it.
Yeah.
I think when it comes down to it, yes. But what Jez is saying
Put
is
it this way: Xbox Canada is giving influencers massages, right?
But
well, I heard Xbox Canada. I've heard Xbox Canada is very liberal with what they give out, like a lot better than some of the other.
Yeah, you guys don't know this. I love
gamers.
America, but I'm actually buying a rental property out in Canada, just for, right next to Xbox
for the
Canada.
free stuff.
Yeah.
Hashtag Mooch.
Yeah, 123 Main Street, Canada. No, because I have a lot of my friends. A lot of my friends in Canada, they know this. It is. It's the lesser of two evils, folks. Right? I mean, crap, it is. You got to give these, because if they don't, they're going to start complaining. Now you've got.
Who cares?
Well, now you got 1.3 million people here.
Okay, great. But they're Microsoft, right? So open up the wallet a little more and give some more people that actually do deserve it.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like there are a lot of fucking people that got stiffed and got, you know what I mean, that probably deserve to be doing some kind of unboxing. And then when you look over and you see, look, Mooch, everybody, you don't fucking. When somebody comes at you and fucking starts yelling and cussing you out, do you gift them? Do you reward them? No. That might be mamby-pamby the way pussy motherfuckers act nowadays, but that's not how you act in my goddamn right? You don't do that.
My motherfucking hood.
You don't do that shit. Kill them with kindness. Haven't you heard the phrase "kill them with"?
That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing.
The real question is going to be when we start getting the reviews.
This kindness act hasn't worked. Like nobody cares. Sony's over there laughing, going, "Hey, they don't want to buy content. We'll buy it all up."
Right.
And it's working.
Right.
And you have, even when Boogie and I don't know who the hell the other ass bucket is, we're going back and forth about Xbox, and Mikey Barr chimes in, we don't even care which platform you play on. Just game, guys.
Game and have fun.
Really, did that sound the fakest tweet I've ever heard? Right? But it was bullshit.
Yeah.
And I can smell bullshit.
Jez,
the question that I really have for the panel, and this goes for Jez as well, because obviously he's in the business. Let's just say, for instance, you take 20 of these YouTubers, right? And, 15 of them are just not Xbox fans. They've basically shit on the brand as much as they can. Do you really think, and this is the question I really pose for everyone, especially in that, watching right now, are any of these influencers going to actually turn it around and say, you know what? This box really delivers on everything Microsoft. I was wrong.
Well, that's what I want to see, because you'll see. I want to see what the outcome is. Like,
yes, I agree with you, Brett. That is a great point.
Maybe it won't work. I mean, this is exactly what they did with Lumia phones. It's exactly the same thing. When I went to Barcelona with all the other influencers, quote unquote, none of them were Lumia fans. None of them were Microsoft fans. I was the only Microsoft fan there. The rest of them were just fashion bloggers. They were trying to basically give them the phones and say, can you use this phone? We'll give you a free phone, but can you post yourself using it on Instagram, blah, blah, blah. That's how influencer marketing works, right?
Right.
And they had, they paid, what's her face? That chick. What's her name? The one from Sin City. Jessica Alba. Is that right?
Oh, yes, Jessica Alba. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
They gave her a Lumia, and I think they paid her to use it. And she was like photographed in public using it and stuff like that. And because people see that and they think, oh, she's important and influential, maybe I will be important too if I get a
cool. I want that phone too, because cool people use it.
Yeah, exactly. But it didn't work for Lumia. But you could argue that it didn't work for Lumia because maybe genuinely Lumia wasn't good enough, and it didn't have the good enough market. It didn't have the good enough store and stuff like that. But the thing is, if the Xbox One X is genuinely a good product, there'll be a point where people just can't stop lying about it being bad and saying it's bad when it's not.
But they haven't stopped so far. The S is a good console.
On this though, I mean, Mixer Partners didn't get any. How come Mixer Partners didn't get any? And they're Microsoft branded.
Some Mixer Partners got them.
Yeah, some did.
I heard from a few already that they asked and never got any.
Well, how does this get turned around as Crap Gamer being jealous? Mooch, how many Xbox One X's do I have coming?
X's, you've got
two
or three.
Exactly. I'm not jealous.
Yeah.
I don't need
Listen,
that. I don't.
No, that's ridiculous.
I get all my games.
I completely understand the point that maybe it's a big waste of money and a big waste of time, and these guys are going to be ungrateful, and it's almost like a justice thing. It's like,
what about the double dipping of the codes, though? I mean, you know, half these YouTubers and influencers get review codes anyway, right? So Microsoft just give them copies of review codes. They're probably going to get.
Their users can only use the code if they buy an X. A lot of their commenters probably don't have an Xbox One, especially these random bloggers who don't even blog about games, and they pick up a free code in the comments.
Yeah, like look, I like
free code on eBay because
Mooch's girl, Justine, right? She got one. That's what she does. That's her job. I figured it out, Mooch. She's an influencer.
Yes.
Right? That's why when you look at her channel,
I figured it out.
She's got like a million different things that she's like, oh, look at this. I'm pretty. And I jump around. So it's like, that's what she does. She's an influencer.
Yeah.
She unboxes shit. That's what and there's other people like that. I get that, right? Necessary evil. Do they really give a shit about Xbox? No, of course not.
No.
But what Microsoft did was try to reach out to people. They give them a bunch of games to try to cover them no matter what.
Right.
But the bottom line is, what's really going to bite them in the ass is a lot of these people that are influencers on YouTube and actually do gaming and stuff. They're going to play they're not going to care about a better looking version of Destiny 2. They're going to play the version that gets the strike first. They're going to play Call of Duty, the version that gets the map first.
That's right.
So Microsoft really kind of screwed the pooch themselves, right?
Well, Microsoft has data that says otherwise. Their data says that single player games are dead. But then today it's like Wolfenstein 2, Mario Odyssey. You know what I mean? All these games are selling like everybody's hyped up about are single player games. Assassin's Creed, and then again, you know what I mean? So I don't really necessarily their data. Also, I remember hearing Albert Penello tell me on Twitter once. He's like you don't game on PC. Our data tells us that like 90% of our people game on PC and console and phone. I'm like, I do not game. I don't touch my PC to game. I don't game on my phone ever. Right. I'm not saying the data is perfect, but what I'm saying is that they're a big ass company and they've got to rely on something. They can't just make random gut decisions.
I get that. Like, and that's why they included Earth 2 and these and 4K Blu-rays, right? And subscription passes and all this stuff, right? Like, I get that, right? But I'm just saying, fine. You want to give it to all the people that spit in your face and treated you like shit. That's fine. Your own business. But also give it to some of the other people that are better that have been with you since day one. That's all I
want to talk about the benefit of this, okay? You guys have definitely hit like the hypotheticals and what happens in the boardroom, the strategy. You've both discussed both ends of strategy. But let me pick on just one guy who's a very innocent YouTuber. His name's Brad, but we always kind of joke about him. Guy does a lot of Let's Plays. Let's do this. He's got 2 million followers plus, maybe more. I don't know. I know he's up there. And he's a wholesome dude. He doesn't get involved in any kind of politics at all. But he does blow with the wind as far as what's the best console on the market. Now,
what's the hot topic?
And there's no way that the Xbox One X isn't going to give him the best output. Now, I'm sure, I haven't seen it yet. I'm assuming he got one. I don't know that for sure. That's not where I'm going with this. But I need to see in the next not 2 weeks, in the next 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, I need to see the Rad Brads, the bookies, the whoever, the boogies. The bookies and the boogies. I'm sure there is a YouTuber out there with 580,000 followers.
Next thing you know, Francis is smashing it like he did his 360.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But no, but the thing is, don't we need to see them using this? We need to see them using it. If they don't use it, this backfires. So I mean, we need Rad Brad to be using the Xbox One X. For them, I know, and it's funny, but like we need him to be using it for the foreseeable future.
I agree that I get that point of it, and look, some of it I do scratch my head. A good handful that looked angry when they're unboxing the shit. Yeah, right. Like why are you looking?
It's a bother to them to unbox something.
Oh my god, fantastic. Microsoft sent me $1,000 worth of shit. Here we go. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god. You know, there are much better people out there. I'm just saying, like, give some to some of these other people. There's, you know what I mean?
Agree.
Like,
I agree. There's not even a rebuttal to that. My thing is when you're talking about their faces and the way some of these people look, and you know, this goes to everybody in the audience. Stop and just listen to us for a second. Everyone's very quick to just point the finger and be like, "Oh, we're fanboys." Okay, fine. Whatever you want to call us, fine. But when you see these guys opening up their Xbox One X's that they got, and they have that glum look on their face, that's because they are fanboys of PlayStation. The thing is that now they have a console in their hand, and they've got it. Like Jez said, you hope that if the console is all that they say it is, eventually you have to stop with the negativity, because now they've actually given you a product is the bee's knees. So if this console really is, you like that, I'm trying to relate to all audiences. But yeah, you know what I'm saying is that, like, thanks, Brett. But you know, it is what it is. I think that's where I'm kind of going with this. I hope this is kind of a to be continued, folks. This isn't going to be answered next week. Yeah,
I could see us talking about this 3 weeks from now. Seriously,
I got to talk about.
I'm not really much of a ranter, but I did feel like I needed to rant a little bit about it today. Plus, a lot of people were like, "Crap, you're soft." So I was like, "Fuck that, man!" I just went on there. I was like, "I'll just say how it is, man." I know, but it's like so I did. And look, I know that if people want to just be like, "Oh, you're a whiny bitch," because I got some of that in my
naturally,
you know, on my timeline, which is fine, because there are some people out there that literally, even though I get accused of this, will literally be an apologist for everything Microsoft does Xbox wise, right? And I will never do that. I'll never be that guy.
Right.
Yeah, you have to think though, like, I mean, if some of these YouTubers have like, I mean, okay, you talk about like the guys with like 1,000 YouTube subscriptions or whatever, fair enough, but some of these YouTubers, they have like millions of subs. If just like one person goes out and buys an X because of that unboxing video, that marketing is basically paid for itself. Because all Microsoft did was post.
So spread the wealth a little bit. And you want to just, and again, this is gonna sound like I fucking want one. You know how many Xbox Ones I've sold? Probably hundreds. Probably hundreds. I get messages all the time, bro. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have even got an Xbox One. Hundreds. I used to post them on Twitter when that would happen.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just saying, like, this is the problem, right? A lot of these people, like, they're mostly PlayStation guys, right? So their fan base is PlayStation guys. So even though they're going Xbox, this Xbox One X is great, that's not swaying a PlayStation guy. What they should be doing in addition to that, I guess, is give it to the actual Xbox guys with Xbox fucking people in their audience, and let them sell it to the audience that's ready to embrace that.
You know,
right?
I agree with you, Crap, and let me tell you why I agree with you. Here's the thing. There's a lot of people that are Xbox fans that are on the wire right now. They're on the side of the fence. They don't know which side to jump on. They're like, do I upgrade? Do I not? And the thing about it is, here it is, me and Crap, we talk Xbox pretty much all week long for the most part. We talk gaming overall, but we're Xbox fans. Wow, this just in. Yeah. But I mean, my point is that I've never seen breaking news.
Gamer and Mooch are
like
Xbox fans.
Yes. News at 11. What I was going to say, though, is I think that you have to understand something. I still have not put my eyes on an Xbox One X yet. I still haven't seen the product. Jez has seen the product. I mean, what I mean that is he's been to E3. He's been to game. I think did you go to Gamescom as well, Jez?
I did.
Yeah. You saw that, you know? And I mean, there's a couple people in the chat right now that are saying, why are you Xbox fanboys going crazy over a mid-gen console? Because this is a little bit more than a
same reason they went crazy at the beginning of the generation with having better resolution.
Yeah,
like
100.
That doesn't matter anymore. Power doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah. Nothing matters anymore, right? Nothing matters until Sony says it does, or the game.
Well, nothing else matters.
Look at this for a second, okay? Everybody who listens to anybody's channel that's on this panel right now, we're already going to get an Xbox One X anyway.
Correct.
Right.
So the people they're sending these consoles to, the ones that we're complaining about, they're trying to get some of those people, the flip-floppers, to flip back over to this side. The best way to do that is to win them over by giving that fan base. It's a strategy. It is. It's a strategy. Yeah. Whether we like it or not, this is probably the best thing they could have done.
I agree.
But I still think they should have given some consoles to some of the more hardcore Xbox fans.
There's plenty of Xbox channels out there with the actual Xbox audience that literally like look to channels for guidance on what to get or what to, you know what I mean? That would be better. I'm not saying that they, completely not give the other people, but also in addition, how about the people that supported you?
Right.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I completely
for me personally, I'm just saying, like, every day I get messages, maybe 100 a day. Oh, hey, crap! Should I upload? Should I get an X, or should I only have a 1080p? Crap! Should I get an X, or should I just stay with my S?
Right.
I always say, hey, you don't need a 4K TV to enjoy the X. You're gonna get better performance, better graphics, either way.
Yeah, we're selling the console for them for free, basically.
Exactly, and it's not like you know what I mean? Because look, I sold Nukem PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
And
100%.
I mine.
I did. I sold it on Noof. I talked Noof into that because I told him how much of a great experience that was, right? So if it's something's good, well, if something's good, I'll sit there and like say it's good.
Right.
You know,
No,
I'm not gonna bullshit about it. You know, so I just fucking think it's kind of a disgrace to see some of the dudes get it, but again, even more so that some of the long-term Xbox guys not get it. You know.
Right.
Just kind of a shame. And to see,
I want the same
I'm not gonna lie, I
box they
flipped
open.
out, man, when I saw fucking Terrible Tom and he's like, "Look what I got," and I had that fucking tweet where he was like, "If they price it at $4.99, they clearly won out of the away from the Xbox," you know. And I threw that shit right in his face.
There is something to be said there too. I mean, that's not just us poking fun. I mean, to be honest with you, I used to respect Tom. I thought Tom was a very good independent reporter. He did his analysis on tech, and I genuinely enjoyed it. For some reason, I don't know if his views were going down or whatever. He just one day flipped the switch and started like attacking the.
Well, look, that's what happens with that type of with his type. Yeah, The Verge. Remember they did this terrible hit piece about it being the Xbox X10 or something, Windows Xbox 10 or some shit like. And I was like, that's the most ridiculous thing ever.
A lot of people who've been following Microsoft over the years are bitter because Microsoft keeps screwing them over. You know, it's like you get yourself invested in phones and they cancel that. You get yourself invested in Connect, they cancel that. So like,
my Zoom back.
Yeah, Zoom still. My wife still uses it. She loves her Zoom.
Like Paul Thurrott has been covering Microsoft for a long time. He's the saltiest guy on Twitter. I think there's something about covering Microsoft that just makes people go crazy.
Yeah, it does. It does. No, you're right. You're 100% right.
I was really pissed at Microsoft when they killed Groove. I was so pissed.
You have every right to be.
I mean, like Groove.
I'm shocked, Groove. I mean, I didn't see that being a huge overhead for them. Yeah. I'm shocked that got cut.
I feel like they just came up to a contract renewal and thought, you know what?
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
They were like, hey, hardly anybody uses our shit, even though Crab Gamer obviously had a subscription for didn't run out till next year sometime. But yeah, so let's go ahead and end that. You know what I mean? And go with Spotify, who like great. Hey, while we're at it, what else does Crab Gamer like? Zoo Tycoon and Disneyland Adventures again. Let's go ahead and throw that shit.
Yeah, throw that in there. Give it to him.
Audience, we're aiming the 4K.
You can play Connect they cancel.
Good job, yeah.
Oh yeah,
and,
we might as well talk about that for a second. I was going to jump to another topic, but let's just somebody play taps. Yeah, Connect is dead, folks, and thank you. I bet is that Fred or is that Clowns? That's Fred. And to be honest with you, listen, Connect was something that when it was originally taken out of the box when Phil took over. I was one of the first ones to come to Connect's defense and said, well, it's not that. It's just that Phil's doing what people wanted. People wanted a cheaper price, and you got to get the hardware out of the box. So he did what you asked. And people were like, no, Mooch. When you take it out of the box like that, now they're telling you support's cut. And I'm like, no. But then little by little, more support got taken away and more support. You saw developers not utilizing it at all because now it's not in the box and this and that. And I said, well, and it wasn't fair to come down on Microsoft with the Connect, was it? I mean, every other commercial during Football Sunday over here in the States is, Alexa, turn on the lights for me.
Oh, well, that's
Alexa,
not Microsoft.
what size shoes do I wear?
Alexa's great. So is Siri. Those things are great.
And listen, I like Apple, but Siri's no better than Cortana, really.
But when Microsoft wants to do it, it's
shit.
It's terrible.
Right.
It's shit. Basically,
I don't know. That was my whole. You guys see where I'm coming from with this? Like everybody was down on the whole like Xbox this, right, or Cortana that.
It was ahead of its time, man.
It was, and the same thing when Microsoft got castrated for having the idea of having digital games and quote unquote DRM. And then when the first question when the PS4 Pro came out and they asked Andrew House, they said to him, they said, what was the reason you guys didn't go with the 4K Ultra Blu-ray drive? And he goes, well, we just feel that in this day and age, in the process and the way we're going, people are streaming or downloading and purchasing the games via stream, so they'll have their 4K content that way. Folks, break out your Ovaltine decoder rings. That's DRM. Okay.
Yes, it is.
So
Yes.
like, stop the nonsense with this whole thing. Microsoft was gonna spy on you in 2013.
They were trying to take our rights.
They were taking our rights. I can't play an old game. Now,
This
Microsoft
is how you trade games.
Microsoft is the only company that lets you put your old games back in your machine. Okay,
they're spying on you. They want to know what you're doing 24/7. Who cares about you with your phone with your GPS that tracks you 24/7, right? I mean, who cares about that? And that's
don't worry about that crap.
Seriously,
Don't worry about that.
I dread to think what my Connect has seen. I dread to think. every time I get up in the morning and I use Windows Hello, and I've just got out of bed in my underwear or less, and I think there's someone at Microsoft headquarters with pictures of me in really compromising position.
I mean, how could anybody even do that? There were millions of Connects out there.
Jez goes, and I don't care. That's how he ended that segment. That was great. No, I mean, to be honest with you, you're right. It's an eye into your home. But let's be honest. I hate to say this, guys. I hate to say this to everybody listening. Nobody gives a shit what you're doing at home. This just did. Nobody cares. Like, I'm sorry,
but you're a Kardashian.
They're gonna see a bunch of people, some overweight, most ugly, sitting there eating some cheese puffs and playing video games.
Especially in gaming. My God,
I mean,
not national security, folks. Nobody cares if Jez has got a towel wrapped around him walking around. Nobody gives a shit.
Man, I'm all about naturalism.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, you ever see those movies, or you're even in your real life, you look out and you see your neighbor walking out to get his mail in the bathrobe, and you're like, that's weird. And at the same time, you're like, fuck it, who cares? I gotta go do something else. Like, who cares? Nobody cares what you're doing in your house if you're eating pork rinds and having a large thing of Mountain Dew. Listen, Connect is done. It's fine. It's fine. It's over. Now we don't have to worry about it anymore.
Done, man. It's been done since Phil took over.
I didn't even know that they were really still producing it, to be honest with you. So I don't, just like the original Xbox One design, like that shit was technically done a long time ago too, but then they like made a big deal out of it when they stopped producing it. Like the GameStops were selling the Connect's new for like $35. That should have been everybody's first clue. You know what I mean? That's another thing that people in general ruin.
They're making room for the Connect 3.0.
Well, I mean, honestly, the Connect would have been, I guess, unless they just come out with a cheap camera that works when they do. Well, they might not do VR, but
I'll tell you something. I do know that they're still working on voice commands, and they do have plans, but it's probably far away. They can't ignore the whole voice thing now because you've got the Amazon Echo and stuff like that. And they were recently talking about why Cortana's not doing as well as it is, and one of the reasons they said is because we didn't have a dedicated device for Cortana. So the next version of Connect might be something that is separate from the Xbox but can connect with other devices in your home or something like that. I don't know.
Which is smart.
Like CCTV for your home. I
think it's smarter to have it like that. Myself personally, I always thought that if the next iteration of Xbox wanted to keep with it, which I know they don't now, I was thinking this years ago, that they would have the Connect built into the actual unit. So the microphone would be built in and you would speak if you want to, and if you don't, that's fine. But needless to say, I think Jez is more right where it'll be an additional unit. It won't be built in. It won't be in the box. It'll be something if you desire to use it, that's fine. But things like you said, with Alexa out there and Siri now, this isn't going away.
I mean, did you guys see, and someone mentioned it in chat as well, the Amazon key, where you can give Amazon a key to your house.
Yes, I saw it. Yes, I did. Was it you who tweeted out, I'll pass?
No, I'm all for that. Fuck it. Right?
Somebody wrote, I'll pass. And
random motherfucker walking in my house.
Privacy is dead. We got Connect spying on us naked in the shower. Now we've got Amazon UPS walking into our homes. We've got speakers in our houses listening to us all day.
Recording you.
Yeah.
Recording you.
Microsoft sent
Alexa, in case you guys didn't know, Alexa record your shit. So
Microsoft sent Jez a Christmas card, said, Jez, we love you dearly, but why the hell's your Connect in the shower? Jez is like, don't worry about it.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you need motion tracking, head tracking, and stuff like that for VR?
You do. And I mean, that's why for Sony's PSVR, you have to have the camera.
So wouldn't we need a camera for the...
Not for Windows VR, you don't, because the cameras are on the headset. They've moved Connect from your TV and put them on a headset.
I'm talking about HoloLens, or are you talking about the
no, he just means mixed reality.
Mixed reality, yeah. Okay.
HoloLens 2 has cameras on it. but all the Windows
HoloLens
mixed reality
2.
headsets. Yeah.
They got to hurry up with that. And get
HoloLens 1. I mean, HoloLens 2 is in as HoloLens as well. Has Kinect cameras.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying, HoloLens 2. Does anybody like? I mean, they're just way late with this shit.
Oh yeah,
You know,
for sure. I don't believe. I mean, I was going to say earlier, there was more Windows Phone sales last year than all VR. So that tells you how good VR is doing. To be honest,
That's true.
Hey, I love VR.
It's not doing
Great.
It's a gimmick. And listen, crap, this is not about you.
No,
this is not
it's not
about
a
you.
gimmick.
That's fine.
It's great.
Crap, there's still people playing jacks in the street, okay? So there's people who like everything, okay? So I understand. But what I'm saying to you is that nobody wants to come home and put that apparatus on. It was something that was dead day one.
I said the same thing earlier, right? I was watching Wolf's Den, right?
Yeah.
And they were talking about well, I think She-Wolf said something about they were getting PC versions of games or something. I was like, when the hell did everybody start playing on PC? And Magic Mike was in the chat, and he was like, yeah, like if I didn't have wife and kids, he's like, I'd probably play on PC. I'm just like, are you guys fucking high?
Well, I haven't picked.
You know
Yeah, I don't pick up that correlation.
The last thing people want to do, the correlation is it's extra work, right? But people still do it.
It's extra money.
Well, it's extra money and extra work, but people are still like, hey, I just got busting my ass with mowing lawns today. I'm gonna sit there and fucking hike my pants down and take out my screwdriver set and take apart my PC because the motherboard fried today. Oh shit! Now this thing worked. Oh, driver's installed. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I need a new sound card.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
like gaming's supposed to be fun. Someone said this to me that I know. Listen,
it is. But I'm telling you, dude.
I know somebody that's a PC gamer. The thing about it, crap, is listen. When you get up in the morning, you go to work. What do? You get up, you do what you got to do. You go, you get in your car.
I stumble around, wait for my feet to come to me. So you
stumble around, you stand up, right? Then you get in your car, you turn the car on, and you go to work. Your car brings you from A to B. There's a lot of other people that like to tinker with their car, right? We don't. I like my car to get me from A to B, and when that little service light comes on, I throw the keys to somebody, and they're like, take care of it for you, Mooch, no problem. And they do call me that. No. My point being is that like there's people who like to tinker. A friend of mine that likes PC gaming, he goes, can I tell you why I kind of like it? And I'm like, why is that? He's like, part of what I like is building the PC and tinkering with it. Like, he thinks that's the fun part of it. Where me and you are like, no, we just want to get to the games. We want to have fun playing, and I want to have fun with the community and the headset and get my friends in a group.
I don't want to sit there for 2 hours before I can fucking play the games.
Right. And that's my whole thing. But they find that fun. I mean, do you ever see these PC channels? Like half of the channels, like RGT, I watch RGT all the time. I have a lot of respect.
Doesn't sound fun to me.
It's not. Well, if you listen to Red Gaming Tech, and Jez, you must know who he is. You know Paul, right? I mean, he's a really, really good. He's got a great YouTube channel.
He's British.
And he's awesome. He's awesome. Red Gaming Tech, RGT. Does it ring a bell? Well, they're great, but they're PC-centric. They do talk consoles, but I watch him all the time because he does a great analysis and breakdown. But part of his whole thing all the time on his channel is, join us today while we break down the 1080 blah, blah, and the blah, blah. It's all component talk. And I'm like, I don't really want to sit there and listen to component talk, but there's people who do. That's part of the PC lore. So I think with Mike, Magic Mike, and I didn't listen to him say that in the gaming den, but like what I think he meant was if he had more time, he wouldn't mind tinkering and building this elaborate PC. And that's fine. But myself personally, I don't know. I grew up in an era where I think if you're an 80s kid, like or 90s,
you
grew up on consoles.
Really etched into your DNA.
Yeah, like I don't think that way. Like these younger kids are like, I can build a PC, and the thing, the number one thing PC people used to say all the time was, Mooch, I can get games cheaper. But nowadays, you still can on PC. Don't get me wrong, and they're great deals. But we're kind of getting that in the console space now with a lot of now that digital's taking over. I mean, these games that are $60 in 2 months, they're $40, and then in 2 months after that, they're $28. I mean, and in CD keys, if God forbid a game tanks, like Agents of Mayhem right now, you can get for like 2 Chuck E. Cheese tokens. And I mean, it's up to you. Game. It was great for a day. And like, and it is what it is. And like, that's fine. But like those games are like $10 now. So, I mean, when people are like, well, Mooch, you're really missing out because you guys are paying $60 and I can get this game for 30. That happens to us. We don't have it quite as fast as PC. We don't get as fast as their discounts, but they're discounting them fairly quickly nowadays. So, I mean, that being said, let me talk about this. I want to talk about a developer. I want to change subject slightly. Insomniac came out and said they're looking for a publisher. Now, this is not late-breaking news, folks. They've done this a few times now. What do you guys think about this? Is this really a ploy to get Microsoft to listen again, or is this more or less they're really reaching out and saying, anybody who's got a wallet, we're talking to you?
I think it's well, you know, first of all, it's hard to say. Like, there's somebody controls social media. It's not always a higher up that does. So that could be a very PR answer. Ted Price had said something like that too. Like, yeah, we're really looking for a publisher or whatever. I would suspect that Microsoft had I would suspect that Microsoft has probably a multi-game deal with that.
Okay,
they
like
did.
Alan Wake.
They did. Yeah. I think it expired.
I don't know if it expired. I mean, I think they probably had, just like Alan Wake. Like, you know what? Like, Remedy can't go to Sony and go, do you want to publish Alan Wake 2 for us? Because Microsoft has a 3-game publishing deal with Alan Wake.
Right.
Like when they got when they published Alan Wake on PC, they actually had to go to Microsoft and get permission to find a publisher to do that on PC, right? So even though Microsoft didn't own the IP, they were smart enough to get rights to the game as far as publishing it, right? I would assume that they had some kind of multi-game deal with this as well. I still believe that. Even if it's not the case, Sony's not going to want to do it because for the reason they didn't do it in the first place.
Right.
Insomniac went to Sony and they're like, we got this game. And Sony's like, let us own the IP, bitch. And they're like, we're tired of being your butt monkeys. We want to own our own IP for a change. And Sony's like, well, PAX-in then.
Well, we talked about this the other day. And before I get into that, I want to welcome Scratch. Scratch, thanks for joining us here. I know he's on mute right now, so I don't know if he's able to. There he is.
I can hear you.
What's up, buddy? Welcome to the show. You missed the first part of it, but we got a lot of heated discussions left. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're talking about
stuff.
Well, we talked a little bit about like the whole who's getting Xbox One X's. Did you get one, by the way, Scratch, or is there one maybe rumored?
I did not, and also Amazon.
Oh, hi, Scratch.
Needs to wake up with my pre-order.
Yeah, I heard there's a lot of people tweeting out right now in disgust.
You want a discussion? Get me going on that.
I mean, here's the thing, Scratch. Now listen, but I'm gonna somewhat be the maybe your good luck charm here. I think that's a flaw in their system, right? I mean, there's no way you're not getting it.
Scratch what? Amazon?
Yeah.
No, what's happened is there's Microsoft has said that there's going to be probably some shortages. And so Amazon doesn't update the stuff until they do. And you think that this is the problem. This is why I ordered from 2 places, right?
Yep.
Because this is what's happened to me in the past with Amazon. And this is right when the Sonic Mania collector's edition came out, the day it was announced, my brother Hellhammer pre-ordered that off Amazon, right? The day that it was announced. All right. The day that it was coming out, I pre-ordered it. I got mine before he got his.
Holy moly.
Yeah, so that's not the only time Amazon has kind of screwed me over like that. When I ordered the Uncharted 4 Collector's Edition, I ordered it months in advance.
Right.
And then I wasn't going to get it until 2 weeks after it was going to come out. So to rectify it, they did give me a download code to play the game, and then I did end.
What do you see in Scratch on your? What's your update? Your latest update? When is it saying? What are you slated to get it at? Is there a date?
A lot of people are saying the end of the month or the 14th, the 30th or the 14th.
That would be devastating.
Doc Cupcake just tweeted something out and said December.
Holy cow!
Well, that's what it said. I mean, I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, some people are getting that. So
mine just said the same thing it said since like August 20th or whatever. It's just updating. Like we'll let you know when it's updated. We'll email you or whatever.
I'm fairly certain that Microsoft's caught wind of this. I bet you something gets straightened out because they got to go by the tally in order. And Scratch, I'm sure you ordered it the minute Major Nelson gave the announcement or very, very shortly thereafter.
I was in an airport. And I stopped what I was doing and almost missed my flight so I could get on my phone. And that's my point. I mean, not even knowing that, Scratch didn't tell me that.
You're such a good Xbox guy, though, Scratch. Why wouldn't they give you as an influencer? I would think you're a big-time influencer. Why wouldn't they give you an Xbox One X? I mean,
I don't know,
it's a valid question.
An email or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, that is a little bit odd. Look, Scratch is a good Xbox guy, has a good Xbox following.
MVP and ambassador.
Why would he not get an Xbox One X? But hey, let's give Tom Warren one who said that Microsoft was looking to get rid of the Xbox altogether if they priced it $499, right? What the hell do I know? I'm just fucking crap gamer.
There's a shortage.
Yeah, exactly. So
Scratch.
Hey, sorry, I know I sound super pissy tonight. Yeah.
Well, no, you have every right to have your feelings on that. And I mean, like I said, there are people like Scratch and a lot of people in the MVP program that he works with, and these guys are doing
perfect
example of someone that deserves one.
Yes,
that's what I meant. Perfect example of someone who deserves one,
right,
and didn't get one.
Absolutely.
What I mean?
I'll second that. I'll second that.
He has a way better chance, no matter, even though he has a smaller base than, say, a Boogie or something.
Right.
He has a way better chance of selling more Xbox One X's than Boogie does, because Boogie's channel is mostly made up of people of him hating on, hey, I'm Francis, I hate Xbox, they call me fat. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the truth. People are going to look to Scratch for an honest answer on Xbox One X, and he'll give it to him, you know? So that's what I'm saying. Like, people are already there.
Well, you know, I was talking with Rand the other day. He didn't get one either, and I am really surprised about that.
Well, I mean, it depends on how you look at it.
I don't know.
I'm actually, well, listen, the reason, and I was quiet for a second only for one reason. I'll explain to the audience. I have mine. I did what Crap said. I have one where I ordered one over at GameStop. I went and grabbed that one there. And then I ordered one on Amazon. So I do have one also coming on Amazon. I was just looking to see what mine says, but I'm not seeing a date at all right now.
My Amazon one doesn't have one either.
Exactly.
Apparently, they update it as they get shipments in. So that's basically what's going on. Like, you can call him. That's what Doc said. He called him or whatever, and they were telling him, what, like December or something? Like, good Lord.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, folks, in that retrospect. But getting back to Insomniac games for a second. I mean, is Sunset Overdrive a pipe dream, or is it a reality to us in the future? Is this going to happen?
I do have a vote up that's closing.
Yes, I actually joined that today, dude.
It's almost 3,000. I figure if I could get 50,000 to vote on it, maybe Microsoft would actually give a shit. You know, maybe.
What do you think, Jez? What are you hearing in the industry? Is Sunset Overdrive still something that Phil and company are listening to, or it's dead?
Well, sometimes I speak to people at Microsoft and I bring things up. And if they don't reply, then that means that they really don't want to talk about it. And maybe they'll change the subject or something. So I brought up Sunset Overdrive to a few people and nobody replied.
So you're saying...
I didn't think that bodes well. Either, I don't know, it could be one of two things. Either it could be that there's some sort of, I don't know, they just really don't even want to hint at the possibility because they don't want me spreading rumors or something. Or maybe they are interested in doing it and they just don't want to, spread a rumor or anything.
I think it's the latter, because I do think there's some, like, I think Ted Price gets along with a lot of people in the industry. I think that they're easy to work with. So many people have been working with Insomniac over the years. I can't see Phil not. And to be honest with you, I think we were talking about, we don't have the exact numbers in front of us, but Sunset Overdrive broke 1 million. It may have taken a long time, but it broke 1 million. And that was back when the Xbox was getting nothing but the worst press imaginable. The worst press imaginable.
Yeah, I believe there was only 10
million units out there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I tried to.
It wasn't marketed that well either. I think
No,
a lot
it
of
wasn't.
people didn't understand what
Sunset Overdrive
what the game was.
I didn't either.
Here's the thing. That's why I tried to appeal to Microsoft's inner greediness, right? When I did the thing, I didn't just go, we need Sunset Overdrive 2 now, damn it. I was just like, look, Microsoft, here's what you can do. It was a really good game, but we need a co-op campaign. We need a team deathmatch multiplayer. And what you guys can even do is throw in your microtransactions, because people love to buy skins of shit.
Right.
And that's a perfect game because you had all kinds of clothes and shit that you could unlock in that game and weapons. So you get your money that way as well. If you want to go even further, make it a GTA Online type of style with the multiplayer after you're done, where it's a constant source of income, right? People would buy into that big time because it was already a procedurally kind of generated world or whatever. Like,
that's right.
You know what I mean? So
just put
like
a PUBG mode in it, you're done.
Yeah, exactly. So there are ways that they could do their whole, because we all know what's going on. Microsoft and EA are both all about that GAAS. So make it into a GAAS and be done with it, but give people like the co-op campaign as well.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Sunset Overdrive is now a household name, folks. Okay.
Yes.
You say Sunset Overdrive, even if they didn't play it, they know what it is. And that's that's the difference between making money and what Jez just said. When it came out, we were all like, what is it? Like, what is it? Nobody even knew what it was. The first few trailers were just CGIs of a guy like floating down like Mary Poppins on a cane, shooting things left and right.
Here's what
Nobody knew what that was.
What hampered Sunset Overdrive 2 was this. What did we get at that E3 where they finally showed off the gameplay? We got people saying it was only 900p. That was the big hubbub, right? Like that hurt Microsoft.
That hurt Quantum Break too.
I don't know, like
720p.
maybe you have a good in with Microsoft. maybe explain to them for all their little checks and balances and data that they don't realize that a lot of people paid attention to that whole 900p stuff. So a lot of the
resolution gate was the thorn in their foot. It was
even Rise. Oh, 900p. Well, this is impossible. 900p. I can't. What the Dark Ages? Did we lose a war? What's going on here?
Did we lose a war?
900p. Like seriously, people were acting like it was the plague or something. That didn't help. Same thing. You know what killed Quantum Break? 720p in 2016 or 15 or whatever the hell that game came out.
You can't enjoy this game.
Yeah, it's look, there are articles that back up what I'm saying, right? They go, it's a travesty that we're getting a 720p this year game. Xbox has let us down. You know what I mean? This was legit shit that happened and circulated in the media. I don't think Microsoft understands the amount of hurt that has on their games.
Right.
You know, Quantum Break was a great game. Sunset Overdrive was a great game.
I know, because they made the X.
Yeah, but people stayed away from them because of resolution, and people were trashing these games, and they didn't give them a chance. So now that resolution is not an issue, guess what? A Sunset Overdrive 2 4K HDR with some microtransactions like that sells itself.
No, it does.
It sells itself.
It does, and I think that
they should at least remaster it. Yeah, you know, it's
at the very least 4K HDR.
They should do something like. They should do what they did for Recore, release a definitive edition and gauge.
Yeah, we're getting a Recore sequel, but not a Sunset Overdrive.
Yes. I know, I'm with you. I can't see why they did Recore instead of Sunset Overdrive.
It might be. There's all sorts of business things that, I mean, to play devil's advocate, there's all sorts of business things that we don't know happens behind closed doors that can derail this sort of stuff from happening. For me, a Sunset Overdrive sequel makes more sense than Recore. Because, like you say, there was a multiplayer mode that was underexplored and underutilized. It could have had loot boxes for skins and cosmetic stuff, or even weapons.
Yep.
Fuck it, go the whole hog. And it could have funded itself. You know, they could have done. I mean, they basically had the element in Sunset Overdrive. They basically had the elements to make a Fortnite clone before Fortnite came out. Yes. I mean, the enemies are basically look the fucking same, except instead of purple, they're orange.
They're orange, exactly.
You know, so they could have done a lot more with that IP. And Sunset Overdrive was genuinely fun. I think it was just people didn't understand what the game was until it was too late.
Yeah,
but
and they even got it for games with gold. I couldn't even talk some people into downloading it for free.
It was a games with gold in April of 2016.
Yeah, I was like, did you?
I was gonna completely overlook Sunset Overdrive because it just didn't look like a game I'd be into. I don't like bright colors. I don't like happy games. I like depressing games that are black and gray and full of blood. I like
your soul.
Yeah.
Jez loves Wolfenstein and he loves Doom. Those are his games, folks.
Those are the only games I play. And Fallout. And
Packed with dread.
Yeah, full of doom and gloom. But Sunset Overdrive was the third game I ever reviewed, I think, and I loved it. You know, I absolutely loved it. But I didn't really get a sense of why I might love it from the marketing. You know, so like
they had piss poor marketing early on.
Yeah, that big surprise there.
Like, the thing that I loved about it was the momentum and the traverse on it. Was like, wow, it's like I'm playing Tony Hawk's, but it's a shooter. They should have sold it like that.
Yeah.
Or if you like Jet Grind Radio, it was a little bit like Jet Grind Radio. There's a ton of people that like that.
Go
ahead.
No, my only issue was that the world was empty.
Come back.
The world wasn't filled up. Like I would have rather seen more
and stuff. And the monsters.
Yeah, but they came up as you stood still. Crap. As you're going through and you look down, there's like nothing there. Nothing was around.
They were in hordes and packs. There's only so much you can do.
Well, I don't know about that crap. I mean, there's a lot more they could have. Here's the thing. I'm not criticizing it. I love the game. I really, really did. But now that you have the template, now you can build. Now you can make this something. And like you guys just gave 3 great commercials for this game. You know, Tony Hawk with a gun, blah, blah, blah. Basically, 4K, the best HDR experience your eyes will ever set on.
Again, though, even though it even got some shit, though, for some reviewers because it was Xbox. Like, you got to remember, at that particular time, Xbox hate was still at an all-time high.
All-time high at this point,
like, even now, I mean, you still will get people hating on it for no reason. Like, you're like, why do you hate it again? Because they tried to take our rights in 2013, damn it. but no used games. Well, I couldn't play it in a submarine if I wanted to. God damn them, Microsoft. It's like you just like some of these people.
A submarine.
So pissed off. You almost imagine them as being a classic like Bond villain or something.
Yes.
Microsoft, and they get so pissed off. You know, it's funny.
They do. Hopefully,
Scratch is like, holy shit! What?
No, actually, I want to ask Scratch. I want to ask Scratch a question right now because something that came out today, and I'm expecting Scratch to do a video on it. Is we want to hear more about this. Game gifting is coming out, folks. It's coming out to the Alpha Insider program. Scratch, has it hit yet tonight, or is it tomorrow?
Should be. I think it was maybe an hour or two ago. Mike tweeted it, and I looked. And I think it was in the middle of my stream.
I saw Jez said the first person that responds to him would get the opportunity for him to try it out, and I was like, "Damn it, I'm late." But I think he's handing out
everybody.
Yes,
everybody was responding like, "This is my gamer tag." People posting their gamer tag. Here's my gamer tag.
Did you see that?
I'm gonna drop a code in chat. I'm gonna drop a code in chat, so get ready.
Jez is dropping a code, which means Mooch may disappear from the podcast.
Mooch is gonna try to mooch the code.
Yeah, I got the entire kids. Everybody, get around with your cray machines. We got to figure this code out.
One time I got a code from Jez, and it was like Kitty Powers Matchmaker or something.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Jez is gonna give somebody Soda Drinker Pro tonight.
We should make a video. This is how you gift on PS4, and then he drops a code in chat.
It's actually really good.
Jez,
really good.
Oh, do that, Jez, please. Scratch tape it. We'll put it on your channel. No, I mean, what's the word, Scratch? I mean, how are things coming along? What happens over in the MVP world? I mean, you guys are doing a lot of videos. You guys do a lot of helpful videos. I watch them sometimes when I'm like, that's an actual unique function the Xbox does that I currently don't use. And sometimes I'm going to do it. How is it? Does this look like it's going to be an easy transaction?
It's interesting, the stuff that people don't realize. Like I'm interested to notice, like after this gifting comes out, like it might even be like, I will still get messages on my videos of features that have been out for over a year, and people are like, "Oh my god, this is so cool! I just subbed. I didn't know you could do this." But it's been out forever.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like they just find out about it. And so I think gifting will probably catch fire a little bit quicker just because it involves getting stuff.
It's gifting. You know what I mean? Everybody loves a gift.
So like nobody's going to ignore gifting, but it'll be interesting to see like how it takes off. I'd be curious to look at the metrics of it and kind of see like just how many people are using. So how it works is like when you do the gift, it actually sends them a message like with the code. Like you get, I don't know if any of you guys have gotten stuff from like Xbox Live. Like if you're in Insider programs or whatever, they'll send you a message and it has the code in it. So that's how the gifting kind of works the same way. And so you could actually gift codes like to another gamer tag and get codes for yourself to give away. Like, so I expect to see like, small gaming sites, people with a blog or something, or new YouTube channels who are going to be trying to give stuff away. This gives them an opportunity, to buy their own stuff and not have to ship it,
What do you think took so long for this to come around? People were saying that it might be a problem with, the logistics of the financials, right? So I have, credit card protection, things like that. I mean, this is something that people have wanted for quite some time, and they're just getting around to it. Was it something that was just low priority in your opinion, Scratch?
Yeah, I mean, I know one thing that takes the highest priorities on Microsoft is, of course, whatever is ranking up there in the on the feedback channel.
Right.
And so like they definitely focus on there. And this has been high on there for a while. So other people would say like, well, it's been #1 for, because like look how long they wanted.
That's right.
Like Call of Duties or whatever. So usually like in my experience anyways, and I'm not speaking on any sort of official capacity, but is if something is really highly ranked and it doesn't get done, then it's probably some sort of like, I don't know, like a technical reason that they can't do it or whatever. So like maybe like the logistics of gifting something, you have to generate a code. The way codes are generated is not it's not an easy thing, because you have to look at like vulnerabilities and integrating that into the new store, and the store is updating, and of course they want the store they were focusing on getting the store in line with, you know, the Microsoft store, like online and that sort of stuff. And so, you know, it seems like they've been kind of laying the groundwork for this for a while.
I agree.
So many store changes, and then seems to be kind of like the final puzzle piece.
Well, with that being said, let me ask you this, guys, and this is primarily to Scratch, but I want to hear the panel too. We kind of all reached out to Mike. We said, Mike, you know, look, at first it was novel, it was kind of cool, it was neat, but we're getting tired every 6 months. And Scratch is like, no, keep changing it because Scratch makes great videos, right? But I mean, right? Scratch is like, don't take my content away, damn you.
Yeah, I like them changing it too.
But the problem is I have a friend of mine that's a big time Xbox guy that works in my office, and he just said this to me about a year ago. He goes, you keep talking about how great these features are and this and that, but he goes, I got to be honest with you. I get home. He goes, I don't pay attention to it like you do. And all of a sudden, I got to learn everything all over again. Where was that button? Where's the redeem code? Where's this? Where's that? And you know what? I actually went home and thought about that. And I thought for the casual market, listen, there's nobody that hates the PlayStation UI more than me. I think it's a very boring. I don't think it's functional at all. It's just a long horizontal line of nonsense. And but you know what though? I will say this much: all they've done is kept with it for 2 generations, and they've just made it very silky, very smooth. And whether you like it or not, we all get used to everything. Like you've sat in your car, right? When you get a new car, you're like, oh, I like where the cruise control was in my old one. Yeah, but that doesn't mean you turned in the steering wheel. You just got used to it, you know? So what happens is we all become accustomed to things. Right. So I think it's time, and I think Mike came out and said it, hey, guys, this is going to be it for a while. Now we're just going to polish it. Is that what you're kind of getting, Scratch, from the people you're talking to? This is it?
It seems like they could kind of, like you say, polish a little bit, because it looks like a lot of the huge things are getting kind of, you know, and I think that's what they don't maybe even get enough credit for, is because they totally take care of like a lot of the biggest complaints. Yes. Now, people do say, yeah, you took care of my complaint, but you didn't quite do it how I would do it or whatever. But at least it's changed. But the coolest thing is, like, I think people don't realize like just how far the Xbox One has come. Like, I can remember, like, you watch old videos of mine, and here I am excited. You can actually invite someone to a party if you're not playing the same game as them. Like, you had to, like, when it released,
remember that?
Look at that and go, oh my God, that's right. I forgot about that. You know, like, they just, you know, like,
so true.
And I think that's what hurt Microsoft. I think a lot of people were expecting, when the Xbox One originally launched, you know, that it would be a more powerful Xbox 360, because that is what 90% of the gamers out there would want, is there a similar, you know, console or a similar system that does everything the old one does and a whole bunch of new stuff.
Yes.
Not everything differently, and I can't do what I used to do, because when you start taking stuff away, that's when people,
you run into problems. No, I totally agree. And one of the rumors that came out a while ago, and I, you know, listen, there's certain people we all know on this panel that talk to people at Microsoft, so no name dropping, but there was a time when the OG Xbox back compat was really it was kind of laughed at internally at Microsoft, because they thought there wasn't enough. Not that there wasn't enough interest from people on the request forms, but there wasn't enough interest as far as making money. And, you know, I still, myself personally, I think what they did by offering OG Xbox back compat, I think that was fan service. I think that was very nice of them. I think it keeps what Phil's "you buy a game, you can take it wherever you want" mantra, and that's fine. But let's be honest, guys. You know, listen, at the end of the day, I mean, you're not going to be the mechanics on those old games are just, nostalgia is a hell of a drug. And at the same time, you know, you can only play them for so long until you're like, okay, I got to jump back into 2017 in a hurry. Right?
I agree with you, but this is why you're wrong.
Oh, I hate it when Moochisms come back to
I had to use that. I've been holding that in my back pocket for quite some time.
Well, let's see what you got, Boom.
Well, here's the thing. You say nostalgia is a drug. I totally get it, and
drugs
I know
wear off. Go ahead.
Well, they do. They absolutely do. And I heard you and crap going back and forth in Xbox Nation about, you know, his KOTOR 4 hours worth. And
oh, wait till you hear the rundown this Sunday. Just saying.
Yeah, okay. Well, here's the thing.
Plug.
They're right now. You said the key thing. Are they going to make money? And the answer is yes, they are. They're going to make money hand over fist. That the numbers are not. They're not going to come out with the numbers. You know how Microsoft is with numbers. But I am telling you right now, there are tons and tons of Xbox players who went out the day that those 13 games were available and bought 5 of them. $10 a piece is, I think, the perfect price for these games. Whether they're going to play them for 60 hours or 60 seconds, there were people. I was one of them. I bought 3 games right out of the gate. Now, I have them in storage, but I just do not feel like going to search for the disc, so I bought them digitally. And again, I know that I'm a hardcore player. Anyone that listens to this show is hardcore. People on this panel are hardcore. But there are some people who are like, you know what? I remember KOTOR. I remember Black. Ninja Gaiden Black. Wow, that was so good. $10, I'm in.
You know, but the part you're leaving out, though, Boom, is after these people put the game into their system or buy it digitally again, they're also going to remember why they stopped playing it for 15 years.
That may be true, but at that point, Mooch,
They already got the sale, man.
They already, yes, thanks, dude.
But in retrospect, Pred, let me just answer you with this. More money was made yesterday on fidget spinners than the entire collection of OG Xbox come back.
No.
Listen,
I saw a lot of people playing
money.
KOTOR. I saw a lot of people playing KOTOR.
Can
so
somebody do a live?
Can
we do a live feed? Crap! Can you have your Xbox One on?
Can somebody gift
you just go on
KOTOR? Can somebody gift Mooch KOTOR?
If somebody could gift it for me, but I'm telling you right now, I'd much rather you take that $10 and gift me Forza 7. Anyways, moving forward.
Hold on a second. Let me say this, though.
Go ahead, Fred.
Everybody has a few games out of the 360 era and the OG Xbox era they want. They want to see back and pat.
Right.
Once they get those games, they will never touch back and pat again, unless it's free of games with gold. That's it. And like you said, they'll pop it in. They'll play it for about 30 minutes. Like, yeah, I remember this shit, and we'll just put this shit on the shelf. Right. So you're both right. Boom's right, and so are you. People are gonna buy these games. They're just not gonna play them as long as like what Microsoft thinks gonna play them.
Well, I think our old games are kind of like old photo albums, right? In our family, like we have them. I'm looking at a bunch in my office right now. There's a bunch of them I have all set up here. I'm not sitting down tomorrow and going through 1987 through 1994, but I also don't want anyone to take them and burn them. My point being is that it's nice to have these collectibles, right? They're collectibles.
Yes.
And then you look at them every once in a while for 5-10 minutes, and then you go and put it back on the shelf. And my thing is this. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I want to make this very clear. If you're enjoying Ninja Gaiden Black or KOTOR or anything else that came out, that's fine. And there's going to be many, many more titles, folks, by the way. There's going to be a lot more titles coming. I think it's great fan service that Microsoft's doing. The part where I made my point relevant here on podcasting is just that there's people like turning cars over in Detroit and lighting things on fire in glory. And I'm like, guys, this isn't that big of a deal. You're not going to play this for very long. That's why my joke with nostalgia is a hell of a drug. And you go, well, this and that. They wear off, and that's the problem.
More time in KOTOR
here we go,
than I do Destiny 2.
Well, there you go.
A minority, by the way, minority. No, but I mean, what do you guys think? What's the rest of the panel thing? I mean, Jez, you're a huge gamer. I mean, are you excited? A, which is probably yes, but B, are you looking forward to playing Ninja Gaiden Black for the next 3 weeks?
Dude, I'm not a gamer. I'm just a games journalist. I don't actually
I'm not a gamer, he says.
Games journalists don't play games. What are you talking about?
That's true. They can't get through the tutorial. But I think you're a little bit more skilled, Jez. I'm going to give you a little bit more credit. You're very good. What do you think?
I was sitting there listening to the conversation. I was just thinking, like, someone said that they get the games they want and they're never touching again. And, maybe that is true. I wouldn't go back and play an old game that I hadn't played before. All the games I've played and back compat are games that I played before because I wanted to experience them again. Like, I was really happy with Metal Gear Rising dropped. I love that game because you can cut people up and there's blood and, I like that sort of thing.
Yes.
And I was really happy when, KOTOR dropped because huge fan of Knights of the Old Republic. Because you get a laser sword and you can cut people up and that sort of thing. But, I was thinking, like, now that I've got backwards compatibility, I can get rid of all the clutter in my room, all these old games in the boxes.
Yes.
I don't need them anymore. I can get rid of my old consoles, You know, but the thing is, if it wasn't for back and pat, I would have kept those consoles on the slightest chance that I want to play them again one day.
Understood.
But I've still got my old PlayStations because I've got no choice but to keep them just in case I want to play Resident Evil 1, the original, one day. Just in case. I've still got my PlayStation 1. It still works. It's covered in orange juice and it's got stickers on it from when I was a kid. I spelled out my it's so 90s. I spelled out my name in the stickers that you used to get with old music cassettes.
Well, see, what's funny about your story that really rings home? No, that's a valid point, Jez. I have the OG Xbox, and I still have it downstairs. I have it downstairs. It's not like hooked up, but I just have it like sitting on the ledge there. It's fine. It's there. In like you say, in the means that I may want to go back and play an older game. But realistically, it's like when you pack for a long week of travel, right? I mean, you've got 7 days. You've got this and that. So what do? You pack 7 underwear, 7 socks, 7 T-shirts. But then you're like, well, just in case, I better pack an extra 3 underwear and an extra 3 socks. But the thing is, though, when you come home, you don't remember which ones are the dirty ones or clean ones. You end up cleaning all 10 of them. My point being is this, okay? You don't even use them, right? You don't.
Who cares? Let people like it anyway.
Crap, hold on, wait. You see now? See, when I make my point, there's always you, and there's always about 55,000 people on Twitter that misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying you shouldn't have the option, because remember, guys, it's 2017, and if you don't have options, you don't have life. So listen, you need options. I get it. The options are there. All I'm saying is people are lighting the match. People are breaking up with their girlfriends because KOTOR is available. Calm down, people. This is not that good of a game. It's a game that it's not.
Are you shitting me? Not that good a game.
No, you know what?
It was good 15 years ago.
No.
Dude, this is where I have to step in. It's still a fantastic game.
I'm with Mooch on this one.
Come on.
Still absolutely amazing.
Scratch. I know.
Hey, look at it this way. Would you rather spend $10 on a game that you've played like 15 years ago or fucking 60?
Here's the best part. I didn't have to
play
spend
60
shit
on a game that came out today.
I didn't spend shit on my game.
Yeah, you didn't spend shit.
Oh, yeah, that's true, Pred. That's true. Pred, no, that's apples for you're going apples and apple. I'm on a different length right now. I'm just saying people are excited to go home. People are like, I'm leaving work 3 hours early because KOTOR. And I'm like, are you out of your mind?
I'm not gonna. I was kind of hyped to play Ninja Gaiden again.
Who wants to go home early for Cuber? Get out of here! Come on!
hey, people
hey,
did for
boss,
Cuphead, didn't they?
You take those TPS reports and shove them up your ass. I'm playing KOTOR tonight.
People were begging for Cuphead for years.
Yeah, but Cuphead is a new game. We haven't experienced
it. It is a new game, but it's still like a very old school idea and very old school.
It's an old cartoon drawing, but it's new. It's new to us.
Like, hey, there's no what, but I'm just saying it's in the vein of some of those old kind of platforming games.
Better than most RPGs that come out today, man.
Yeah, and what RPGs coming out nowadays? There's hardly any that release because they're single player and nobody wants to take a chance.
Listen, I have to take the other. I take the other side for fun in a lot of this. I mean, myself personally, I think it's a great service. I don't want Microsoft to take it away.
No, of course not.
Absolutely not. I think that's ridiculous. But I'm just saying that I was amazed. I was amazed. I think at a little bit of the nostalgia that was affecting people, and they were just so overwhelmed. And listen, guys, it's already happened. Okay, Mooch #Mooch was right. First night, everybody comes home. KOTOR's all over the place. Ninja Gaiden Black's all over the place. My whole community.
Guys, fantastic.
It's all over the place. Guys, anybody turn on their Xbox right now. I mean, you guys are all great judges, too, because you guys all have a ton of friends on Xbox.
I've got friends on it right now.
Can you count, please? Can we get a count?
Well, I only have, it depends. I only see the 69 people that I'm friends with. You know what I mean? But if I was looking at the, 7,000 that follow me, Xbox Live.
Yeah, okay. I'm talking about the active people when you go on at night. I went from the other night where I saw a bunch of people playing the game, and I bet you tonight if I see one, it'll be a miracle.
Well, I got messages the other day saying Mooch was wrong. That KOTOR is great.
Well, listen, so I gave this example.
I've got three people.
Hold on. You're only as good as your examples. KOTOR and all these things just came out 2 days ago. So anyone here is probably saying, "Come on, Mooch, take it easy. You're embellishing slightly." Okay, let's use something else. And Scratch, I'm gonna peg you here for a second because you said that you're big on knowing what it is that Microsoft goes by on the request sheet, and Call of Duty was one of them that does very well. But another one that was on that request sheet was Red Dead Redemption. And when that came back compat, you remember people were losing their minds. I mean, people were crazy. People were burning their toupees. People were going nuts. Okay, insanity in the streets. And now all of a sudden, I haven't seen one person playing that game in months on my friends list. Not one of the 7,000 following crap, and not the 200 actively playing right now.
And I booted that game up just to put someone on the train tracks, and they got run over, and then I turned it off again.
You wanted that 5-point achievement. I remember that. No, but the thing about it is this. I listen. It's great. I want to thank Microsoft for doing what they're doing. But in all retrospect, I just ask everybody, can we ground ourselves a little bit? Can we just ground ourselves just a touch? Because I think it's a bit much. I don't know. That's my whole thing. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about, moving on to a last subject here because we're running a little on time, is we were talking about what would have been Microsoft's greatest strategy walking into this Xbox One X release. I mean, you've got all of the hardcore like ourselves that can't wait to see the power. A lot of us have gone out and invested in 4K TVs. And I like how we say invested, like it was a house. The gaming media will make you think that a 4K HDR TV is the equivalent to like a Maserati or one of those tiny homes on HGTV. It's not that bad, folks. Okay, it's not that bad. I think Crap got a 4K 55-inch TV HDR for less than, was it $500, $600? I don't know what it was. But he did very well with that. What do you guys think about? Should they have put maybe Gears of War 4, Forza Horizon 3, Forza Motorsport 6 in the box as a digital code? So when you get home,
I've been beating this drum on it. Yeah. I've been beating this drum for for weeks on Crossfire. Yeah. And listen, a lot of us are older gamers, so when we were gaming, when we brought home a console, it had a game in the box, right? I know they don't do that anymore, but I think that considering it's not going to cost Microsoft any real money to put an older game as a digital code like Horizon, a Forza 6, a Gears of War 4, or a Halo 5, just so the person that may be a first-time buyer can see what this box is all about. I know that, Game Pass is in there. You get a month, big deal. They could have easily put a game that was going to be supported, enhanced, in the box as a digital code.
Yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, me and Boom are on the same page there. Scratch, I'll tap you, and then I want to hear Pred, too. Scratch, you think they should have maybe put a game in there with a code so that when they say go home and actually experience greatness with a 4K game?
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised they don't try to put like some of the old games with golds in there.
Yes.
Because you can't go back and get them now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they could say,
Agreed.
There's so many games that get given away, especially like every month. Like they could just package some in there and just say, oh, this many Xboxes, get that or whatever. But I think that on the subject of 4K TVs, I think one of you had said, or somebody had said something about the analyst said that it wouldn't happen.
Right.
Or something.
Yes.
And I found it kind of interesting because it seems like it's like with bandwidth, right? Like I can remember my dad bought a computer when I was a kid and it had like, I don't know, like a 1 gig hard drive on it. And I remember the guy selling it was like, this is all you'll ever need. Like with technology, like you should know at this point, like, it's always going to be more. Like 8K gaming is coming because you know how the PC master race is. We can't be the same.
Right.
Like they got Xbox One X, which is reportedly as powerful as a 1080.
Right.
We can't have that.
Right.
So
we've got to go up. That's right.
Titan X is going to have to be low grade. They're going to have
the standard now, right? The Titan.
Right. That's the news. We're the standard now. This is terrible. What are we going to do? We have to get 8K out the door. And so I think that it's silly to say that 4K, although at the same time, like with everybody was complaining about, not to jump all the way back here, but when people were complaining about 900p, it's like most of you back then, like in 2013 and 2014, it's like, well, guess what? Most of you have a 720p television unless you've bought one recently. Back then, I mean, now I don't even think they probably don't even sell 720p televisions. And that's just in the short period of like 5 or 6 years.
Outstanding point, Scratch.
You know what I mean? Like
outstanding.
In another 5 years, like people will be like, oh, you can get this cheap 4K TV if you want it, but nobody's even buying those anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
nobody said
buying them because they don't want to spend $5,000 on one because they know in 4 years it's going to be under 1,000.
Not just that. I mean, monetarily, you're 100% right. But I want to make a point to what you just said that nobody has brought up. So bravo for that. Why is it in 2013? Forget 2013. Let's talk about today for a second. Half of the gaming media says, well, the Xbox One X is great. But are you, and they're talking to the camera here and they go, are you ready for the 4K plunge? Meaning basically saying, are you ready to go spend money on a 4K TV? Because the majority of us have 1080p. What Scratch just said, which was so true, okay? 2011, 2012, going into 2013, most people were just taking the jump, getting the 720p TV. So how come the media was telling everybody and dictating that 1080p, it was 1080p or death, when realistically, a lot of people were just getting up to the 720p. They were just getting up to HD. So that's a great point you make. But now that the tail's a different tale because Microsoft's taking the advantage on the lead. But go ahead, Jez.
I was just going to say, like, someone high up at Microsoft basically said that to me. They said, what, is everyone just going to collectively decide that 1080p is enough? Is that where we're going to stay now forever?
Yeah.
So, like, that was their response in response to that exact thing.
Good for that executive.
It'll be the standard. It'll be the standard in 5 years, like Scratch says. So.
Hey, I want to point out something, too, about that whole topic with the games. Like Microsoft, this is where they shit the bed with games with gold for the month as well. You should have had titles that were enhanced.
Yes,
for games for gold.
Yep.
Or doing a bonus game for gold for all the new people coming to Xbox, right?
Yeah.
Like even though you've already done something like Rise of the Tomb Raider, right? That's going to be enhanced. That would have been a hell of a game to put out there,
might publish that too, so
yeah,
it would have been.
I've seen it on sale on there.
Selling a lot of those, they could give some of those away.
Yes,
yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't cost them anything to do that digitally anyway. Like, here it is.
Master Chief Collection. Everybody, I mean, they gave that game.
Yeah,
away,
I mean that's not going to get an update. Like, they needed stuff to be ready when the Forza Horizon 3. Here it is, Forza Horizon 3, because that's getting an update. That's we're giving that away.
Say.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's a year old. They could have got. Yeah, that's a great point, Crap.
Throw Forza Horizon 3 in there. I mean, Gears is probably still selling decently, but
here's the thing. I want to bitch about this a little bit. And Noof brought this up months ago when they started Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, he
the
did.
games for gold took a steep downturn, right? And now you look at it like, okay, Metal Gear Solid 5 got. That was a PlayStation Plus game for free, right?
Yeah.
But that gets added to Game Pass on the Microsoft side, not games with gold. You know what I mean? Like, since Game Pass has come out, we're back to these indie games and small games. Now, I do think that Tales from the Borderlands are great games, but I already beat it on the 360, the Xbox One, and the PS4. You know what I mean? And the other stuff I don't really care about. It's like these little games, like. Well,
I try to remove us, people who have access to a lot of the games and this and that crap. So when you say you or me or anybody on this panel, I take us out of it. I think of the consumer, okay, the general consumer. To the general consumer, Tales of the Borderlands, not bad, but that should have been your B game in the lineup, and that's the A game in the lineup. That's the problem. And here's the thing. Sony's not stupid. Sony always, what they do is they sit around all month and they wait, not just for games with gold versus PS Plus. They've been doing this forever. The minute Microsoft does any slip, even if it's a tiny one, they try to capitalize. So the past 3 months, it has been a little dismal on the Xbox Live, Xbox games with gold front. Sony stepped on the gas a little bit. They're like, well, we don't have a lot of games coming out this fall. We don't have a console that can compete. What can we do? Spend a couple extra bucks and get them some amazing PS Plus games, because what that does is it'll generate more revenue for us on a monthly, in our yearly subscription base. So Sony sits there and says, okay, Microsoft's doing that. Now, granted, Game Pass, you make a good point, Crap, and Noof said that first. Since that's come out, we have seen it dwindle down in value. But at the same time, Microsoft really should have capitalized, like you guys are saying, and put something out there so that the Xbox One X users go home and have a game to play. But at the same time, I sit there and I go, wait a minute. Anybody who went to college for business knows this is the time you don't want to give away great games, right? They want you to buy them. Yeah. I mean, you do have to understand, guys, we sit here and talk about fan service and Phil Writes Me on Wednesdays and all this great stuff. These guys are going to work. And I don't know about you guys, but we all have a boss. Everybody has a boss. I don't care who you are. And, you know, at the end of the day, they've got to produce. So, you know, that's why sometimes I sit down and say these things. They're like, Mooch, how dare you say something like that? How dare you agree with corporate America? Well, I mean, you can sit there and get upset, but if corporate America doesn't make money, none of it trickles down anyway. So it's, you know, it is what it is, folks. So, I mean, myself personally, I'll sit here and chime in with you guys and go, what a bad month for live. But at the same time, I'll turn around and go, these guys want us to buy 3 or 4 games this month, right? So if they gave you 3 or 4 amazing games, well, you're not buying any. And that's the premise here. Well, I'm interested. I'm very interested. I'm very interested to see what PS Plus is. Not because we'll reap the benefits of grabbing those games, but also to see how they're going to go ahead and stack up, because Sony's really got their back against the wall here. They don't have a console. This is a major hardware push for Microsoft. You can see all the momentum is in Microsoft's direction right now, right? You've got the YouTubers that hate Microsoft saying, yay, I got a free thing today. You've got all these games. You've got Digital Foundry won't shut up about Microsoft, even though what they're doing is a bit smug. But nonetheless, they're still talking about them. And everything is going Microsoft's way. Sony's got to do something. So what are they going to do? Who knows? They might give away Uncharted next month. Who knows what's going to happen?
It's only Uncharted's like $12 now. I mean, come on, they probably will.
Yeah, but for them it's $0. You know what I mean?
They probably will offer a great thing.
I bet you're going to see a great deal.
You will, because they're going to combat what and they're also like their Paris Games Week comes up at a hell of a time right before the fucking launch of the Xbox One X, and they have 7 new game announcements. So, I mean, you never know. Like Sony's shrewd. They've been 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps ahead of Microsoft the entire generation. And, I mean, I expect them to they could announce a price drop. They could announce a game, you know, Sucker Punch. They've been holding that in their back pocket. That's probably why they didn't announce that game at E3. And then what happens every Games Week or every PSX, Xbox fans go insane because Sony announces a new game and Microsoft doesn't have any.
Right.
You know, like Insomniac does single-player games. Insomniac, or not Insomniac, Sucker Punch does single-player games, and they're gonna be like, we need a game like it. Like we heard that shit with Horizon Zero Dawn, right? Yeah. Microsoft doesn't release any game. Like that's gonna happen again. Like I'm calling that right now. That's gonna happen, and people are gonna flip out, and then everybody's gonna be all on the hate train again. Even the YouTubers and stuff, they got free shit. They're all gonna be back on the hate train.
When is
this X is great, Microsoft, but you can't do anything unless you have the games.
Right.
You know, like, you know, despite the fact that all the games, the multi-platforms, the ones that we all play 99% of the time are going to be better on the X. It doesn't matter because people are always going to look at Microsoft and the Xbox as the console
Microsoft had their
exclusives.
You're right. When Microsoft had their games coming out, okay, early in 14, they had all these things, that Sunset Overdrive, Titanfall, all this and that. People were like, well, why would I buy the Xbox? Yeah, they got the games, but my multi-plats, I just want them to look better. It's just a better machine. Now you've got the shoes on the other foot, where Sony has a little more of their first party and deals coming through, and Microsoft has the better multi-plat. People are like, I don't know about you guys, man, but when it really comes down to it, I need exclusives. So we just keep moving the goalposts. But Jez, you had something to say a second ago. What were you going to say?
You're talking about Paris Games Week, right?
Yeah,
I did want to talk about
5th.
it.
It's November 5th.
It's next week, right? Or no, the week after.
No, it's 2 days. Yeah, it's 2 days before the Xbox One X releases.
Well, that's timed perfectly.
I think Microsoft might have an announcement or two.
Really?
Hold on, Jez. Zoo Tycoon 2. Connect Star Wars no longer requires Connect, folks. Book it. Shannon Lofton says here up there.
Zoo Tycoon 2, man. If that's the announcement, I'll be a happy bunny.
She's gonna be up there going, that, though. Connect Adventures without the
you heard
Connect
it here.
Adventures reskinned as just Adventures.
Crap,
4K.
Crap makes jokes of it, but I'll be honest with that. Maybe a little insider thing. That's very cool. I hope we do hear something. It would be nice if something from Microsoft comes out at Paris.
The live event because they're doing a live event or whatever. But
when is Paris Games? I know there's something coming.
Someone said to me it was next week, but that doesn't correlate. Okay. Well, the 5th is Friday, right?
I'm not going to have a full-blown conference, but it's the 1st to the 5th of November. So
okay, it is next week. Yes, it starts next Wednesday. Yes.
Yeah, Microsoft might have a little something to announce. I think
it would be nice if they did, and if you heard it here first, folks, that's awesome. That would be great. That would be something.
Here we go. Sony's E3 was rather tight on new game announcements, but Paris Games Week 2017 could make up for that.
Is that what it says, Crap?
Yes, PlayStation Media Showcase is scheduled for next Monday over there. Sony just officially confirmed there will be 7 brand new game announced for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation
You won't
VR.
see until
2025.
Yeah.
Before teasing on Twitter that E3 was only half the story. The year is winding to a close, but PlayStation is just getting started. This Monday, October 30th, PlayStation's Paris Games Media Showcase will begin at 9 a.m. Pacific.
It's smart, you know.
But plan to tune in at
it is
in early.
It is. It's smart, but I was wondering, when did Sony hire J.K. Rowling? Is there great stories?
You won't want to miss it. Our media showcase will give you an exclusive new look at the next wave of huge PlayStation titles. After the showcase, stick around. We'll dive deeper into the biggest announcements coming out of Paris Games Week. Woo woo!
Fat Princess 3.
The thing is, right? If they announce, even if they announce games that aren't coming until 2025 or 2030,
people flip out still.
People will flip out, and it could derail the X, and people will be like, "Well, I'm not going to get an X because I know what's coming for PlayStation, but I don't know what's coming for the X."
I also think that I think that's a good point, Jez, because I think also a lot of people like. To go back to like what Boom has talked about how like we're all kind of plugged in, right? If you tell my brother, here's 10 games that are coming out, but you don't tell him that they're not going to come out till 2025, like he's interested.
That's right.
Because they don't know about. It doesn't matter that they never release their games because most people don't understand that connection. So
good
when
point.
they see 7 games get announced, our go-to is, yeah, we'll see them in 2025, and everybody laughs, which is true. But most people are like, cool.
He's right. He's right.
That's a down payment. That's a payoff to their investment on that console.
Yes.
And here's the thing, right? Like, even though I was arguing with somebody on Twitter because I made a snarky ass comment in response to the E3 was only half the story. I was like, it damn sure better been half the story. It was 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You guys did the same thing you did last year. And then you get the fanboys jumping on you about stuff. But here's the thing. They still have like Shenmue 3, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Deep Down, like these games that what the hell is that other game? Death Stranding. That game's not even included. They're not even making that game yet. They're still scouting locations and shit.
Yeah.
So, and The Last of Us 2, that 2019.
Well, that's what Scratch is talking about. There's people in my family that are PlayStation guys, right? And they'll come up to me and they're like, "Dude, I just can't wait for Last of Us 2." I'm like, they haven't even what? Like, they haven't even gotten Ellie to say one thing recorded yet. Like, nothing's happened. They showed a CGI at PSX 2 years ago.
By the way, the CGI stuff was what Microsoft got. Everybody bitched at Microsoft for that. You know what I mean? And it's like, but I do think there's a medium to that, and Microsoft needs to figure that out. Like, fans want to hear about games. Hell, Sony, they have a Switch, right? Yeah, we get Mario. It is a pretty good year for the Switch, but they hold up a little card that says Metroid, a new Metroid Prime in development. It's not even anything. And people are like, holy shit, they just won E3.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
tell them Metroid's in development.
Yeah.
Okay,
just hold up a little card. Metroid Prime 4. And everybody's like, they just won E3. Seriously, people were saying that.
It's all about that, like, protecting their investment. And it is that. Yeah. So you guys are right. It's decent strategy. And I mean, for anybody that talks to Phil, or Phil ever like will get a sound clip from Crossfire, like, Phil, show your games that are 3-4 years out. Who cares if one gets canceled? Nobody cares.
You know what's funny is they did show a game last year that was a while out, Ori 2. Right? That game ain't coming next year. That game's a couple years out.
Probably.
So everybody's go-to is Scalebound.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Right.
Like,
they're gun shy because of that, right?
Shut up.
They're gun shy about Scalebound. Yeah, but they shouldn't really be, or Fable Legends. Fable Legends was a mess up right from the beginning. Why change the tried and true formula of Fable as an RPG? Like, that's where that whole Windows 10, let's mix it up and, crossplay. That's where that's really took a bad turn.
When they start
like, I don't know.
Their games.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Sea of Thieves doesn't suffer that.
Well, don't forget though, games like Evolve, they were all trying this 4v1, 5v1. A lot of these games tried that. They thought
free to play doesn't work on console. Like, I keep telling people that. I was like, free to play doesn't work on console.
No,
it
doesn't. For the most part, it doesn't. I mean, there's people that play like Neverwinter and their Sharks or whatever they're called that are spending $3,000 a night, but those are very far and few in between.
Yeah, like, most here's the thing, because I consider myself a hardcore gamer. Most hardcore gamers might try something that's free to play for a little, and then they're not going back to it. Why? Because I bought a bunch of games.
Yeah.
And I want to play the ones that I actually spent money on. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
I was just gonna say.
So it's like yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say my point on the whole thing with Sony is like it's the same, or with the announcing the games thing. the same thing with that is like people who do giveaways on Twitter and they don't actually have anything to give away. Because like you never see them announce anything, and they get all these followers and they get all this stuff, and they're like, "Oh, I'm giving this away," and just follow and retweet, and then like you're like, okay,
never hear who won.
I check, like I'm like, oh, did I win or who won? You know? And
yep.
Like, it's never spoke about again. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And then a couple weeks later, and like I've watched people climb. You know, none of you in chat listening, none of you do this. Please don't be jerks. But people do that. Like they just say, oh, we give this away, and so many people, it's like, I don't know if you guys ever played Lemmings, but that's what it is. They'll follow the first person that falls off the cliff, and they're like, oh, retweet, and it's like, how does this person get this? You know, like they don't have this. If they're 14 or something, you know what I mean?
Speaking of this, Mooch and Crap giving away an Xbox One X. Link below.
And that's legit, Scratch. I guarantee it. The money has exchanged hands to get it done, so it is happening. Believe me.
Can't even they can't even announce, or they'll say like, oh well, I contacted the winner privately.
Yeah, like crap. Are you kidding me? When we give away the Xbox One, I want pictures of that shit all over the place.
Like, come to my house, like.
Yeah, no shit. I want to see that people tweet out that they won this shit.
They better, Brad.
Yeah.
They better. Okay.
Don't worry, Mooch. I'll tweet it out when I win.
Oh, nice, boom. Hey, you're in there, buddy.
It's like when your winner tweets out your site and says, you know, like, hey, I just won from, you know, whatever.
That's what we do with MNC.
I did that today. Matter of fact, when we event, I mean, I was like, oh man, thanks.
No, the people that like Predator's talking about, and same thing that we do on MNC mornings is that every single week when we do our Wheel of Wonder, right after that, the person who wins, we tweet out who won, and then they also tweet out them playing the game. It's great. It shows that there's trust.
Well, yeah, there's also legitimacy to what you guys are doing. That's
absolutely
yes,
absolutely. No,
my point was not to bash fake giveaway people, even though I don't.
Even though I don't condone it, Scratch.
I don't like them at all.
You can bash them, man. It's okay.
It's okay. You could do, but anyway. But I feel like that same mentality that people have is why announcing games is enough. You don't have to release them. You just got to announce them because most people, you know.
It is. It's sales.
They're just
eventually, I agree with you, dude. Microsoft is going to have to let us peek behind the curtain a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just make a controlled leak, you know? Just like, oh, this game's in development, you know, and then let it go from there.
Yeah, Microsoft, if you're listening, controlled leak to me.
Yes.
Or give it to people to give me shit. I'll be happy to be. I'll be happy to do a Megaton video.
Or just let Jez leak everything that you give him.
There you go.
And we gotta wrap this shit up.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, no. Shout out to Steven too. It's his birthday today. I don't know if Steven's in the chat still. But shout out to Steven, his birthday. My buddy OLED Steven. That's what I'm going to call him from now. And he'll be known as OLED Steven. Happy birthday to you, brother. I want to say thanks. And you know what, Scratch? I know you have your stream that you do on Friday, so I want to thank you. And you know what? You have so much stuff to contribute to the show. And I'll reach out to you. I'd like to have Scratch back on for the full show one time because he does a lot for the community. And I think people need to know more about what Scratch does. And I think we could all learn a lot from him. So, Scratch, thanks for coming on tonight, bro.
Thanks for having me.
Where can people find you? Give them a little bit. I'll do the outro starting with you.
Mostly just like on like Twitter, aka_Scratch is where I tweet everything else I do, or about.me/Scratch has links to everything.
Very cool, guys. I truly recommend you guys take that down, copy it, because when anything comes out that's in the new alpha, Scratch goes over in detail. He does videos. And if you don't believe me, Mike Yabar, other people retweet them out because they're very helpful. And he does them in layman's terms. That's what's nice about it. So, Scratch, thank you for that. Thanks for being on tonight. I know that it's hard to get you on because, you know, scheduling is difficult. We all have a lot of stuff going on in our lives, but we definitely want to have you back on the show. We really value your opinion, bro. Thank you so much, Scratch. Jez, let me do my guests first, and we'll work our way backwards to the usual suspects. Jez, thanks for being here tonight. It's freaking after 2 o'clock in the UK in the morning. Yeah, you know, it's kick-ass that you're here, and it's kick-ass that you just contribute so much to the community in these podcasts. Where can people find you, Jez?
You can find me on the interweb. It's a big place full of magic and wonder. Now, at Jez Corden, at JZCORDEN, or at Windows Central on Mixer, or windowscentral.com/gaming, or at WC Gaming Tweets, I think it's now called.
That's so great. You have so many places to be. It's awesome.
I6M's Twitter is now being fully absorbed by Windows Central, and I6M is no more.
Sad times, but at the same time, you know, it's been resurrected by you guys, which is great. You guys are still there, and it's still ticking, right? It's just under different leadership.
Yeah. I actually kept the @Xbox Mad Twitter handle and made it like a little memorial place for all the good times.
You started it, man. You should be proud of it, Jez. And, you know, me and you have been talking for a long time, and you've come such a long way. And I'll tell you right now, you're still on the elevator on the way up, buddy. So thanks for being here. We really appreciate you being friends with the show and helping us out. Can't thank you enough. We'll definitely promote Jez throughout, and it'll be in the description. Predator, also, I want to thank you, buddy. There's a lot that you've got going on in your life, and you took some time out tonight. Where can people find you?
Let me see. Predator_H2OS on Twitter, on pretty much everything. Xbox, PlayStation, Steam. Shop Podcast on Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Time. That we started that back up a couple of weeks ago.
Nice.
Next podcast on Saturday, 6 p.m. And then the Xbox After Party, 9 a.m. on Sunday mornings.
Very cool, man. I never get tired of saying this. Thank you for serving our country, bro. Very, very nice, and I appreciate it. No one can say
you're
that.
A true patriot, Mooch.
Well, I try my best.
And he's a true patriot too, but you're a true patriot for recognizing.
Absolutely. Always will, bro. Always will to the day I die. And Mr. Boomstick. Boom, what's up, buddy? Where can people find you this week?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Mr. Boomstick XL, and you can also find me on Wednesdays at Coffee Casuals and Consoles with Mel and Xbot and the gang. That's 10:30 in the morning on YouTube. The show has really taken off, and we've gotten a lot of followers. A lot of people from this show, believe it or not, have come over. And, you know, we get tweets all the time that, you know, while they're working, because it's an early podcast, they get a chance to listen to it. So I'm glad to be a part of that crew.
No, it's awesome. It's
I
a great
often
show.
check out that show while I'm taking a bath.
Yes, you're always there. Yes, that is
Yes.
correct.
I like how Crap always says that. But like literally it's a lot of fun. You know what's great about it too is that Danny Boy does a lot of work for us on MNC Yoshida. and then
just Danny Boy.
And then they hear him on CCC. It's really funny because Yoshida voice is just Danny Boy, which is really hysterical. Makes it that much more funny. Clowns, my buddy from he's from Florida. He's actually from New York. He should come back home. Clowns, Four Guys is a great show.
Showing this nice weather that we have right now.
Yes,
It's
that glorious
amazing.
weather you're having in
Crap!
Florida.
Don't steal my calzone.
Get off his food.
Yeah, damn
What
it!
can we-
Change your Mountain Dew.
Where can we find you, Clowns?
Every Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Four Guys with Quarters, YouTube, Google, every other thing, and hopefully soon on iHeartRadio and other stuff like that. And yeah,
And I was a guest yesterday.
yes, and I was about to drop that Boom was on our show. Mooch
Very cool.
was on our show.
Boom is making his rounds. He's doing his thing. I'm very proud of him.
You know, I did.
You know,
leave-
this all wraps around to Mooch. Like I said it to him publicly, privately, and otherwise. It's where I'm at right now in my life, within the realm that we roll in, is because of Mooch. I tweeted at him. I said, do you invite people from the community on? He says, yeah, sure. Let's try and work something out. And because of his hand, I've hit the ground running.
I appreciate that, buddy. But listen, it's all on you, buddy. You know, when you come on these shows, a lot of people always say, hey, I can buy a microphone. That means I can talk. It doesn't mean you can't, but some people shouldn't. And I tell you right now, you did a great job. You got on here. You did a hell of a job. And that's why you've been picked up on every show. And people like you in the community. You're an honest person. You game. You're hardcore. And I'm proud to have you on the show, bro. So just keep up the good work you're doing.
Thank you very much.
Hey, listen, me and you both can't hold a candle to the one, the only Crap Gamer. Crap, buddy, always good to do shows with you, man. You keep things entertaining for sure.
I told you that it was gonna be a good show for me tonight. I mean, all the time.
You were on.
Always, I was on today.
Yeah.
So
I was like, you must have had 2 caffeine 2-liters. I don't know what the hell was going on.
Well, you know, it's like sometimes you scratch your head at something, you know, at some of these things. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm a big fan. I'm still looking forward to the X. It's going to be fun, you know. I just like there's things that could go wrong. Hopefully, I'm trying to stay positive about it, but you know, it's a good time, and this. Make sure you guys call in. thing. Today's the last day to do the voicemails.
That's right, midnight.
So make sure you guys get those into J-Dubs. Yeah, it's going to be a good show. We did a rundown. There's going to be probably a couple other things that me and Mooch were talking about.
Yeah, a couple of gifts we're giving away as well.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a good time. If you guys want to win an Xbox One X Scorpio edition,
it's in the description.
Yep, it's in the description. We're giving that away 100% legit. And also, I do all kinds of videos. They're always going live. I did an extra one today, so
hey,
by the way,
what's extra?
hit that like button. What's extra?
I usually
3
do,
videos, Brad.
I usually do 3. There's the noon, and then the 6, and then the 1 a.m.
He's like old school news.
Yeah.
Remember that? Lunch, 6 p.m., and then again at midnight. That's great.
Yeah, so
Xbox is Walter Cronkite, everybody. Listen, real quick, I want to say, just so everyone knows, Xbot was not feeling good, but Xbot will be back next week. And
hopefully you feel better, bro.
Shout out to Southie. South's work schedule has changed, so he's working Friday night, so he's going to be popping in as he can. But we miss Southie on here because there's nobody who spits the truth like that guy.
He's probably been playing his Xbox One X.
He is probably playing his Xbox One X with Phil. Nonetheless, we'll see you guys Sunday morning, M&C mornings. We'll see you next Friday, 7 o'clock. Thanks everybody on the panel. Thanks everybody here. Good night. Enjoy gaming. Peace.